Hey, hey, hey. How you all doing? Exciting day today. Let me turn on some music. Instead of my normal playlist, I decided to throw up the Video Game Lounge playlist. Just for a little bit more of a low-key background song. And anyway, hey, Elmeister, Yoshi Bros, and Cokeland, how you guys doing? So... and Seals, how you doing? So, get to, at least talk about, in a more official way, me actually completing my damned Bachelors. I, talked about this a bit, on stream, here and there, as well as I announced it on my Discord. Managed to, at the end of the, last semester, got my bachelor's degree, after quite a long-ass time. And, hey Byron, how you doing? And of course, in this sort of freeform, I didn't really prepare anything. I thought about making like a bullet points, but I figured I might as well sort of talk more on the cuff. Using my my podcast platform, mostly just for ease of picking comments, because I can pick people's comments randomly like this, and they highlight a little nicer than normal. I do like this format. Anyway. So I often don't really talk candidly too much about like topical stuff going on in my personal life so much. Getting my degree, there was, you know, as with anyone over the last like 2 years, has been some difficulties, and as well as I had some difficulties prior to that. The path of getting the degree, not exactly the easiest. Had some stumblings, but, you know, it happened, and got the fucking thing physically. I was worried this would take a lot longer, and my background blurring is, like, not cooperating. I put a sticky note to cover my name, because I don't want any of you to know my name, really. But yeah, University of Albany, SUNY, Bachelor of Science. You can't read that because it's so badly, you know, blurred out, but I think you guys get the picture. Yes. Oh well. A worthless piece of paper. If I had prepared, I would queued up that meme from SpongeBob that Patrick said. Quite an old one. Worthless piece of paper. Hey, it's a piece of paper employers put value into, so it's gotta be worth something. With a 3.4 GPA too, 3.4 GPA, so I figure that's pretty decent. Hey, T-Trax, how you doing? So yeah, I don't know if anyone has like any general questions before I give sort of like a spark notes of when I went through, how like what exactly people want me to go through. I was never really a huge fan. Like whenever I had like a streamer milestone, like either 500 follows or 1,000, I usually delegated that to an announcement on Discord. I was never a huge fan of like having these sort of streams to sort of celebrate those milestones. Occasionally I would like do a game to celebrate it, like I did for the 1,000 followers. I tried doing Dark Souls, which sort of fizzled out, but yeah, just like having a Just Chatting stream like this, I felt like for this I should try to make an exception to try to get used to it. I felt it was always kind of vain, because I feel like only so many people really care. It's mostly about the game and the good time, and I figure at least maybe to see how I feel it out. Anyway, let me just get into this here. What degree do you... Wait, what was that? Hold on, I didn't read that right. What ultimately do you want your degree to do for you? Career and jobs that pay a freaking worth of a damn. That's for damn sure. I'm sick of these jobs that, you know, crap pay. I have a lot more opportunities. I'm looking at the possible potential like yearly salaries or hourly rates I can get with a job, which in informatics, by the way. So yeah, informatics. Now, sort of what Elmeister hit. So when did you decide, hey, I want to major in computer science? Well, it's informatics, which is a little different. Concentration in IT. There's a bit of computer science, like sort of. There's a decent amount of overlap. Informatics, IT, computer science, like tech in general. The reason I chose informatics was because it was the only degree at University of Albany that was 100% online long before the COOF that because now it's like online is a pretty standardized thing, but it wasn't so then. So I started for like the first 2 semesters, full-time work, full-time school. That killed me. Oh god, that killed me. This was before I was streaming, I think, unless I got my timeline mixed up. When the hell did I start that? Man, this is probably why I should have bullet points. But yeah, there were moments where I slowed my streaming down because I was going to school. So yeah, that was kind of rough. I streamed very infrequently during those days, and I got kind of stagnant at the time. Yeah. And did I say hey to you, Byron? I hope I did. Hope I didn't miss anything. But yeah, so that the major question there, as what Seals asked, you know, actually getting a job that at least pays somewhat decent. And Copeland commented, you started streaming, I think, in late 19 or early 2000. You are correct about Smash Ultimate. However, I brought this up from time to time. However, I don't feature it prominently on my About thing anymore. I actually streamed, like, years ago, like 7-8 years ago, I streamed DayZ back when that was the big hotness. And the reason I streamed it was because I was friends with a crew of people that were administrators on a server. So it was like a big deal. A lot of people were on it, and we had some notoriety. And we played, if anyone remembers DayZ back then, there was a ton of different mods. Sort of going into my streaming history, but I guess we could sort of go back and forth. I don't mind, but I do like talking about this. The DayZ, we streamed because we played on a certain custom version that had PvE elements with raiding, which we streamed because not too many people have done it. The reason too many people have done it is because barely anyone played the fucking thing, but that's besides the point. We streamed it. My initial setup was god awful. I used a camcorder with it was an AV out camcorder that I had an AV to USB plug-in. Looked like crap, and I had like the record above me. All those clips were wiped. I saved them on an old YouTube channel, but those old clips were awful. But it was amazing how youthful I looked in those old videos. But yeah, I streamed for only probably a few handful of times doing these DayZ raids. I've soon to realize that if you just stream normal DayZ, it's a hiking sim and it's boring as sin. No one wanted to watch that shit, and no one did watch that shit. So I stopped streaming after I got my first like legitimate full-time job, and I decided that streaming was like too much to keep up with, and I sort of stopped. All right, let me go through the comments as well. But yeah, Copeland is right about that. It was around 2019, 2020. I was streaming Smash, and we'll get into why I started, how I started, and what influenced me to start in a minute. So yeah, I think I could do game design with the degree. Maybe. I heard some horror stories about working in the gaming industry, but you know, if you can find something you're passionate about and get paid a decent amount, then that's good. But I don't know, all the stories of crunch and, you know, crap pay, and it sort of turns me off on making games. Personally, I'm not even remotely artistic, so I can't even comprehend creating of games, but you know, if you have something lined up, hopefully it works out for you. Do you think you can move up in your current job, or do you want to find something else? So this is sort of a complicated question for me. I've worked my current job at a semiconductor foundry. The only reason I've completed my degree is because they were willing to work with me so much. My last job, which I don't even know if I want to talk too much about, they were total scumbags. They wouldn't do a goddamn thing for me, even though I worked there for like over 5 years. I asked for some kind of internship or project so that way I can present it to my college to count as internship, because I needed internship. The college would not accept if I worked at a place, if I was on the payroll. If I was an employee, does not count. Has to be either classified internship, a side project outside my job duties, or, you know, just I don't even know. But when I was trying to argue with my college about it and trying to get my job to help me, they wouldn't. Things sort of fell apart from there. I got a job at the semiconductor foundry after, you know, sort of period of furlough, my last job, and I asked them, I need projects for my college. Would you work for me? And they were like, oh yeah, sure, absolutely, we'll find you something to do. I was like, oh, wow, okay. They approached me. It was like, oh yeah, we actually have a daily Gemba presentation for upper management. How would you like to present the slides for our sector? I was like, I can't say no. I'm glad you're giving me opportunity, but that kind of makes me nervous. But I just just nod along, saying, oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I was like thinking, shit, I can't do this. Oh, my imposter syndrome is coming back after I thought I cured it, but I got into it anyway. Oh, hello, Mr. Junkies. Hey man, I'm at work right now, but I just want to pop by your stream to say congrats on the new degree. Thank you, thank you. I feel like I should recognize your name. You're showing as a first-time chatter. I do apologize if I should know you. I'm kind of an idiot. But yeah, also to sort of go back on your question, Seals. I like my job. I love my shift. The 12-hour shift, the alternating 3-day, 4-day work week, which basically means I work half the days and I'm off half the days. Problem being is that the pay is just not there. The pay is just not there. I'm going to let them know I finished my degree and I'll see if they'll give me a more specialized role with better pay. But if they can't, like if they just say it's not in the cards right now, I don't know how long I can work there. I am going to be applying. I'm going to see if I can get some interviews. If someone's offering me something good, you know, I might just have to move on. And, you know, I would hate to do that for a place that actually gave me so much. So like legit, so many opportunities. I haven't even been working there a year and they keep giving me so much. I started training new hires and I feel like I haven't even been working there a year and I personally feel competent in my job, but my job actually recognizes my competency and they're like, hey, train the new people, you know, like, oh, wow. Okay. I'm that dude that you raided yesterday. I'm on my Gamer Junkie. I should have figured Mr. Junkies, Gamer Junkies. Ah, yeah, okay. Well, appreciate that. You know, you were playing Project Zomboid. That was a game I might be playing, not like super soon. I have other games lined up, which I'll probably ask on Discord what you guys think. Which for people listening right now, the 3 games I'm thinking about playing: Rockstar's Bully, Stalker, one of the old Stalkers before the new one comes out, or wait, what the fuck? What was that fucking? Why did I forget the third game? God, I'm stupid. Huh. See, this is why I should prepare. I should have notes. I can't fucking remember what that third game was. I mean, I'll post it on my Discord when I eventually. Did I write it down somewhere? Fuck me. Huh. Maybe it was Hitman. Yeah, maybe Hitman 3. Alright, well, yeah, anyway, that like Hitman 3, which I don't know how interested anyone is. Stalker, I have no idea who's interested in that. Rockstar's Bully, again, these are kind of games I want to play. I just don't know. It's like sort of atypical to what I normally stream. It's not what people are into, but yeah, Bully I've wanted to play for a long time. Bully is a classic. Really underrated, I think. Granted, it is more limiting than most Rockstar games because it's a school and not a world, and you know there's certain things that are too risque to do in a school that you could normally do in the other games, but that's, you know, beside the point. But yeah, that was so long ago. I'm sorry, I was just thinking of Byron's comment here. Yeah, me originally streaming so long ago. Of course, those VODs were saved because back then Twitch actually permanently saved all VODs. There wasn't like the whole 60 days if you have a Prime membership and then they got deleted. Everything was permanent. Which when I started streaming for real again, I had to wipe them all because back then certain things were not a violation of TOS that they are now, and I use liberal use of certain words which are not acceptable anymore. But you know, Dems the breaks, you know, rules and what's acceptable keeps changing, can't keep up with it. But you know, I say again, I saved some of these clips somewhere on a burner account, all privated, so they exist somewhere. What is this? You should find that channel unless you deleted it. Are you talking about the what I was just referring to, like all that old stuff? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did have an old YouTube channel that saved most of this shit. I'll have to double check though. A lot of it's really unwatchable crap of us playing DayZ randomly with a few clips. But yeah, and my old crew that I used to run with that I really don't associate with anymore, with the exception of one guy. Yeah, I'm rooting for you. Yeah, thank you, Seals. Rooting for you too. By the way, everyone, Seals here is gonna start streaming eventually. He's gonna post it on his Discord, so we're all looking forward to that. If you have any days lined up yet, be sure to let us know, Seals. Seals also, I should point out, made my stream overlays and you know, a couple of my emotes, which I don't know if I can minimize my. Maybe if I take myself off for a sec, you'll see my background. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so that background that you saw for a split second, he made that, which looked like Yoshi's island, as well as my dark theme with the neon. Alright, so what made you want to start streaming custom boards? You know what? I'm struggling to remember what the first time I did that. I can probably like watch, but when I was just playing like a lot of Mario Party at some point, and I guess I eventually stumbled upon the Mario Party Legacy forums, and like I figured the custom boards would be a good thing to make different, like a different thing to do, and added more variety to something that I was doing quite. And this was before like Superstars came out, and you know, I feel like Mario Party always has like a small degree of relevancy because it's just a good primo party experience, and I'm glad I made that. That's what I'm sort of known for now. Initially, when I streamed. When I came back to streaming, it was nothing but Smash. If I tried to do anything else, it was kind of hard to get people to be interested because it was like a lot of arena hoppers. I do appreciate my time streaming Smash because it got me to where I am now, and it was a lot of fun at the time. It was an easy venue to get like interactivity. And I guess for those who don't know exactly how I started streaming again, if anyone remembers, PewDiePie had a partnership with an alternate streaming service called DLive, and he was doing random giveaways. Like, he would go onto random people's streams and just, you know, give them money like Mr. Beast. And I figured, hey, I kind of have the equipment and program already set up. I'll just start a stream just to see how it feels, and I'll see if I'll just randomly get donated anything, which thankfully didn't happen because my stream was awful. Awful. Like, it looked so bad. My overlay, my muffled speech, my headset mic. I used a fucking headset mic. I didn't even have the right aspect ratio for my capture card. I had it like set at 4:3 or something, and it looked awful. But yeah, that was an interesting time. While streaming on DLive, I got a lot of people going into the arena. I had a public arena, and I had my link to my DLive, and a couple people came in. Primarily the T-Trax. That's where he started following me. So he's like my first follower, and he's still here, which is, you know, pretty cool. And it is pretty natural for, you know, viewers to sort of shift who they like, and they sort of like follow one guy, and then they eventually lose interest, and they follow another guy. And I never take offense to that. It's just how it is. That's how I was. You know, I watched some people. Eventually, I find other people, and just the way it be. And sometimes I watch these really old clips of myself, and there's certain people that I remember as old regulars that just sort of moved on. But, you know, that's just the way it be. Try not to take it too personally. I sort of started streaming mostly, instead of being a streamer, more like communal gaming, if that makes any sense. Like, a lot of people joined Discords to play games with people because you had trouble doing that IRL. Not like, I had like a lot of issues with my friends IRL, rarely liked to play the same games I did. And it, you know, it was like, hey, you guys like to play Smash? I was like, oh yeah. And, you know, Smash in particular was a game we all played for quite a while, but like after a few months, they stopped, and I kept wanting to play. And this is why I started streaming, was because, oh, I can stream, I actually get an opportunity to play with people again. Let's see. But yeah, Seals makes some good shit. I don't know if he's accepting commissions, but that was one thing he did. It's like you, me type, and maybe one or two other people stream custom boards. Yeah, not a lot. I guess one thing I would love to do, if I can ever ration the time, is make videos that are of a similar style to Zoomzyke, talking and breaking down the custom boards to try to give him exposure. I don't know. Oh, we got a sub, which I should point out that they are muted, which is, you know. Anyway, I appreciate you gifting the sub, Com. You gift out 5 subs, Com. Holy shit, I didn't notice that. Sorry I don't have the sound effects playing. This podcast setup kind of fucks with my audio mixing. By the way, I should point out Calm here is also dipping his toes in streaming. He is new, so help him along. He started significantly better than I did. Anyway, let's see who we gave subs to. One to Justin J, I think that's how I say. Jimmy just got a sub. Cool. Platforming Mike got a sub. That's Sir 10 Dudes. I think I said that wrong. They got a sub. Oh, and Cats in the Bag got a sub too. Nice. Nice. Oh, you're at a wedding? I hope you're not at the wedding on business due to calls of issues. Or you're there for pleasure. I hope you're there for pleasure. I know this is probably a little jarring without the sound. The freaking Persona Yoshi shows up, but yeah. And I appreciate that, Calm. Anyway, your own wedding? And Kalarama, I think did I say hey to you? All right, let me just scroll up to make. Oh, AJ. Yeah, thanks. All right. Yeah, so geez, I sort of lost my train of thought now. But yeah, Calm's a new streamer. Oh, and I guess I should talk about me and Calm are from the Oh, AJ gifted 2 subs, one to T-Rex and one to Rez. Rez is one of my co-hosts occasionally on the podcast, as well as another streamer you guys should follow. He plays a lot of Apex, really good. Hold on. Oh, you booked Vegas. That's good. I'll make reference to that in a minute. All right. But that's awesome. I appreciate that, AJ and Calm. All right, so I want to actually, one of my main inspirations why I stream Mario Party is Calm comes from a community that I also was a part of, which was Craig Skitsmas, or I don't even remember if I said that right, but better known as Stuttering Craig, who of Game Attack fame, or not Game, well, going way back, Screw Attack fame, used to be on game trailers. He was one of the internet elder gods, or old gods. He was one of my favorites, along with the AVGN. And there was, I followed them more casually back then, but yeah, now they're called the Legends. It's a complicated story where Screw Attack morphed into Game Attack, and then Craig went along on his own. Game Attack became a bunch of scummy assholes and rebranded as Hang Time, but that's a whole nother story for another time. But Game Attack used to do Mario Party Saturdays, and this was like my biggest inspiration for doing Mario Party on stream, because I loved Mario Party. I never had a chance to play it with people at all, at IRL anyway. It was so rare, and I was like looking online, and there were ways to play it online. The only problem is, like, I didn't want to play with randos, so I was trying to get people when I was playing Smash with to get to play Mario Party, which was difficult because I had to help them set up the emus, which was hard to do at first. It was a lot harder, but eventually I got a game here and there. And my first game I saved actually on my channel. If you scroll way down, the proof of concept stream. My overlay looked like shit back then. I don't recommend going that far back, because you'll see my old shitty overlay with, yeah, but it is what it is. But I just remember watching them, just finding I mean, these were a group of people that did have good chemistry at the time. They had good chemistry with each other and interacted. It would have been a lot sterile if it was just with randos. Playing Mario Party together. And the issue I had, though, is because I kind of watched it casually. When they were playing, I often, and I watched the gameplay, I'd often forget who's reacting to what and why, because I had trouble connecting who was playing what. And the biggest goal of my streams was to make it as clear as humanly possible who's playing what, and make the audience, and myself as well, watch and associate the character with whoever's talking. And I think I did a pretty okay job. So when you hear a voice, it's not Byron's voice, it's DK, because I have that talking head thing. But yeah, that was kind of quite a bit of effort, as well as the team changing thing, which may not be super necessary. I just think it looks really nice, but it was annoying to set up. But yeah, Craig streams like very infrequently now. He's got other projects lined up, so I'll be on the lookout. But yeah. Thanks to NetPlay, which I only found the NetPlay community after the fact. I found the actual NetPlay setup, but very little resources to help you set it up. Oh yeah, now we're making people like me and Dan try to figure out making who's clear. Yeah, I gave you the links. Thankfully, that resource is relatively new, Byron. The thing I got, actually, it was because of Seals. I forgot about this. Seals gave me the initial resource to have the talking heads. Initially, I had the Discord background with the character icon wedged in the center, which got the job done, but it wasn't like, it looked kind of sloppy. But Seals gave me a link, a sort of a cheap or poor man's VTube setup where you replace the image with the Discord React. And then I figured with that, he made me, mostly as a proof of concept, this talking Yoshi head to be my personal like proto VTube thing. Which the animation does not play on this setup, but it's the talking head. Mario Party TV. I stumbled across them. However, I thought their channel was dead because when I found their channel, it was like they didn't stream in a while, and I didn't know about this at the time, but they play infrequently because they play IRL, which is a good thing to do. Having real hardware and not having to deal with any of the lag, and it's like a different kind of like party atmosphere when you're with people and you actually get to see their reactions and them like point to each other. It's you know, cool. It's a hard thing. I have to give him respect because the logistics of that is a nightmare. I actually experimented with trying to live stream board games, and I try to like have different like cams set up to see each other's hands, but it was just too much of a pain. And it just wasn't worth the time. I figured if I'm gonna do board games, I might as well do tabletop sim. They took a hiatus because Steeler moved for a few years. Okay, I think they were more prominent on YouTube than they were on Twitch. I randomly saw one of their videos. I'm not sure. What is your degree in again? It is in informatics IT, which if I had to like really choose, I probably would have chose something more like computer science. But as I mentioned before, to get back onto my degree conversation, it was the only thing they offered fully online years before COVID. I shouldn't say that word because that's like a no-no word, but years before that. And because I just couldn't afford to go work part-time and go to school full-time, I tried doing full-time school, full-time work, and it killed me. So I decided, because my job was at the time was also covering the cost, but not all of it. If I went part-time, that's sort of, because they have a limit to how much my old job paid for me, and if I went full-time, it always went over. But if I went part-time, it was more manageable, I didn't lose my mind, and my job covered a bigger portion of it. The only downside was that it did take longer. This isn't YouTube. You can say that no word. Well, I don't know if I want to upload this to YouTube, you know? Do I have to like do some post editing and getting rid of that no word? I used to call it the shitty beer virus. Does anyone remember the old beer brand? Which I don't even, whatever. And that's the lockdowns were rough, and as well as were my issues dealing with my old job. My old job were a bunch of fucking assholes. But that's pretty normal. We all work jobs that fucking sucked. Oh, here's a good one. What got you started the interactive Mario Party? Actually, I forgot. It was Game Attack as well. They were doing Mario Party, and they would occasionally have an event where if you donated money, and this was back on YouTube, if you donated money, you could force one of the players to either say no to a star, burn an item, or something basic like that, or make him forfeit a minigame, like make him lose on purpose. It was simplistic because they were playing with real hardware, and I thought that was a good idea. And I looked up crowd control at the time, and there was no Mario Party as an option, and I just figured maybe crowd control wouldn't cover Mario Party. Maybe it was just too niche, and I figured, let me experiment with a hex editor, because I used to, for fun, hex edit shit. With like Mario 64, I downloaded a hex editor, an old hex editor, an obsolete one, and just for fun, I was like messing with things, and I had a very rudimentary understanding of how to do it. thanks to YouTube tutorials. And I figured, hey, wait a minute, let me load up Mario Party. Oh, I can change coin count, star count, a whole bunch of shit. My first interactive was simplistic. There's a lot less options. As I got into the community of the net play, I learned more about what's under the hood of the code of Mario Party, and was able to do more exciting things like force load minigames, stuff like that. Battle games make battle games be all coins. So that is what started it, and now Crowd Control is gonna do Mario Party. So I just hope, well, Mario Party 3 wins the poll, and I hope Mario Party 3 is what's chosen. There's more to it. I hope they have the same capabilities that I had. If not, I'm gonna bug the hell out of them on their suggestions page on their Discord. And I don't know if I would really be able to help, but if they need an idea of where to look for the code, like of certain aspects, like an all coin battle minigame, I hope that's an option they add. I ought to show them like where I found that. So that was good. I have to do that again before, because I don't know how long it'll take Crowd Control to add a game. I have no idea what it takes for them to add a game. It might take a long time. I don't know. They put out the poll. I don't know if they have zero work done, or maybe they have the foundation ready to go. I asked on Discord and I got no answer. It's all just a wait and see, which is, you know, par for the course. They're not going to tell you in case anything unforeseen happens. I'm keeping my eye on it, and I am ready for, if it's Crowd Control makes it easy. I would probably be willing to do it more regularly. I used to do the interactive monthly, but it was kind of, the game would occasionally fall apart, and the more I did it, I felt like the more likely something would go wrong. So I try to make it more of an once in a while event. Have a new job lined up for your degree? No, I do not. I am looking at postings, and I'm probably going to start applying once I spruce up my resume, my cover letter. Now I have to deal with the new stress of applying to jobs with real credentials. Before, it was like I can, you know, talk my way that I had enough knowledge to do these jobs. Technically, all the jobs I worked were more entry level, even some required more skills. I work in a semiconductor foundry now as a wafer fab operator, which is to say I operate machinery that makes the semiconductors to then sell to other companies. There's a lot of different machines that do a lot of different things. You got to get certified to run these machines, which take a long time. I feel quite proud of myself being competent at figuring out how to work these machines whenever they error out. I rather enjoy the job. There's actually a decent amount of downtime, depending on where you are on the line in the production. The 12-hour days feel like nothing. 2 1-hour breaks makes the day go by real fast. 12 hours feels like nothing. If I work even 4 hours, I feel like the day is shot. I remember working 4 hours at Radio Shack, and I felt like, God, this day cannot end fast enough. 12 hours is like, oh, it's just another work day. You know, I got more days off. Every other Friday, Saturday, Sunday I have off. 3-day weekend every other week. If I take 2 days off, it combines with my other days, and it's great. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Grand. How you doing, Grand? You drew some good shit on that Gartic phone yesterday. You know, I'd love to get a game of Fortune Street with you soon. Yeah, probably whenever I get around to it. I sort of play it by ear with Fortune Street. Fortune Street, more like Slime Street. Who, I saw that post someone made on my Discord about the custom maps. I still have to, I feel like we're running out of good maps, and the other stock maps are not so good. Kind of bummed I missed it last time because I got the so-called shitty brand disease. Yeah, I don't know how I dodged it for so long, considering I've never been fully vaxxed, and I wear these masks, but they're surgical masks that are not N95s, but you know, whatever. I live in a very spread out community. Where I live in New York, not in the city. I have no neighbor to the right of my house. Open woods. I live on 4 acres. When I go out to Walmart, it's sparsely populated, not dense at all, so it was kind of easier to stay away from people. Not to mention, I would stay the hell away from people anyway, because I just, being near strangers. So yeah, it worked out with what went on the last 2 years. Maybe you can do Foley conductors instead of semi. Maybe. I mean, I am doing their stressful presentation for them, which hopefully, like, if I have my degree and, You know, if they can offer me something, I would like to stay. I would love to keep my current shift, although it's possible if I do get a promotion that I'll have probably a normal Monday through Friday shift. Every job I'm applying to or I'm looking at, then none of them have this 12-hour shift thing. It's all Monday through Friday or whatever, but it is what it is. I wouldn't mind a remote job. You know, we'll see. We'll see. What made you get hard dibs on Yoshi for Mario Party and Fortune Street? So, the reason why I main Yoshi, as is like a common theme on my stream, I primarily, well, I mained Yoshi in Mario, Smash Brothers, Smash Ultimate. I played Smash 4 somewhat more seriously. I never really played much of the prior ones, only very casually. And I wasn't playing Yoshi back then because I just couldn't understand how to play Yoshi. In Smash 4, I felt like Yoshi was more accessible and I liked... I've always mained Yoshi back because one of my favorite N64 games was Yoshi's Story. And I used to, when playing Mario Kart, I used to always play Yoshi because I had this naive thought that Yoshi was the fastest, which I don't think is technically true. He was a lightweight, which meant he had fast acceleration. However, his top speed, I think, was relegated to the heavyweights. I don't remember exactly, but I just thought that, and I liked Yoshi. I figured, oh, Yoshi's the fastest, so I'm gonna play as him. You know, whatever. All right. But yeah, and I felt like I got decent at Yoshi in Smash. Not great. I was never like tournament capable, but my casualness at playing Smash, I felt like was okay. Oh, thank you, Just a Gamer John. How you doing? How you doing? Yoshi is usually speed type character, so you're not wrong. Well, yeah, it depends on the game. Yoshi is often weirdly lightweight in Mario Kart, in like Mario Golf and Tennis speed class. In Smash Brothers, at least in Smash Ultimate, Yoshi's actually a heavyweight. People don't realize. Yoshi has the same weight as Link, but Yoshi is still floaty, which it worked for my playstyle. You know, being floaty, jumping high up, hard to edge guard while also being heavy, being able to take a hit, which is really, it's not consistent with the rest of Yoshi's appearances. Which also, I don't really think it makes too much sense for Yoshi to be lightweight, considering he's supposed to be bigger than Mario. He's Mario's mount, so why would he be lighter? I don't know. It was never really consistent. I mean, the height of Bowser, is there a canonical height of Bowser? Because that changes all the damn time. You know, whatever. You can't expect super like strict lore in the Mario-verse. But on Mario Kart for the game, Yoshi, Peach, Toad are speed. Yeah. Well, and Game Boy, I never played the Game Boy one. I played Mario Kart 64. I remember them being the lightweights, which meant fast acceleration but lower lower top speed. I think. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm also trying to think if I have, like, I'm sort of a little disjointed, so I hope I didn't, like, forget something talking about my degree. You know, I should probably mention, like, taking online classes at least before Shitty Beer happened. It was a different experience. Like, not having the immediate feedback of the professor. I had all of my gen eds covered in community college when I got my associates, so thankfully I did not have to take anything I didn't really need, like I didn't have to take like an extra physics class or whatever. Those kind of classes, which I'm less familiar with, I probably would need professor support. All the classes I took were more up what I was capable of understanding on my own without so much professor help. And thankfully for the first semester or two, the professors, and they were mostly intro classes, prerequisites for other more advanced classes, they were easier to ease people in for the online experience. And I love the fact that there was no like static lectures. It was, they upload a video or a PowerPoint and then they give you your assignments and they're due at a certain day and you just do them whenever you're capable. That freeform scheduling is what helped me keep working while full-time while at school, because I was able to work around my work schedule. And I used to stay up until 4 in the morning. Like, geez, that first year was so bad. Like, I would go to work, and it was back when I worked like a Monday through Friday shift. I would go to work, go home. I would 9 times out of 10 do school related work until like late at night, like 2 in the morning almost, sometimes later, because my shift back then started late. I had the later shift. I started at like noon, so my you know, it when I got home, I would just spend so much time, and it was rough. It was definitely rough. And even sometimes, even during my lunch break at work, I would have to like continue writing stuff, and it was miserable, but I managed to pass it all. Not super great. I got a couple of like C's, which I wasn't proud of. It sort of dipped my GPA, but my GPA. I managed to boost it back up once I went full time, and I was able to concentrate on these classes. Now I got 3.4 GPA, which I'm quite proud of. All right. Bowser is bigger than Mario, but even his size is debatable in games. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like in the Mario 3D platformers, or like Mario Odyssey, Bowser's pretty huge. But Mario Kart Bowser, he fits within the cart and is only a little bit bigger. And Bowser in Super Mario Party, depending on the minigame, some minigames he's smaller than others. Also, like, I did mention what started me on streaming as well. And I guess just, I don't know how many people were around during the very early days. I used to, and this is sort of an issue with streaming, is that you occasionally get certain types of people you don't want around that are just like a very toxic kind of personality, so to speak. You know, a guy who would make communities, who would organize people, you know, very much all like that, was you know, seemed like he was donating a lot of subs to people, was giving a lot of bits, and was like giving a lot of advice towards smaller streamers. And then eventually, you know, he became more controlling, and he would manufacture problems just so he can like throw the people under the bus and sort of get his audience to follow him instead. I mean, some people may know who I'm talking about, and I'm glad this asshole's not streaming anymore. Hopefully it stays that way. When things sort of blew up for him, he laid low for a few months, tried streaming again. When he got called out, he laid low again and started streaming again months later. But the fucking idiot would use his same account instead of making a new account to try again, so it always got caught, and maybe that's what he did. I don't know, but he hasn't streamed recently. Hopefully he got the picture. I mean, I could get more into that. That's like a big bit of the lore of my streams, is dealing with that guy. If anyone knows who I'm talking about. And also, I guess talking about Game Attack, dealing with the blow up that went on over there, which is also complicated. If you want to see a community that is run so fucking awfully and just with toxic people running it, look at Hang Time. That used to be Game Attack. Fuck them. Whatever. I don't want to get too into that complicated issue, and but yeah. So yeah, I hope, I have to see if things start to moving, because even though I have this good sense of relief now that I have my degree, I don't have to do any more of these stupid fucking classes, or at least I hope not. God, I've always hated school. I for a bit wanted, when I had my degree, my associates, and I was working at my last job, I kind of wanted to try to see if I could build a career there, maybe get some certifications, see if I can somehow build something without getting the degree. But when I got rejected one too many times, it was like I didn't have the knowledge base, or I lacked the credentials, or I just wasn't senior enough, and I saw too many of my colleagues, some of whom I felt like weren't as capable as I was, or, you know, they were more junior than I was, and I was like, all right, if I get the degree, then they really have no reason to deny me. So I went back on their dime. Even though I had a lot of these classes under my belt, my degree wasn't finished, so they basically treated me as if I had no extra credentials. and it just kept getting worse and worse at my last job, a fucking call center for a telecommunications company. I do not recommend working in a call center. I mean, you have to work if you have to work, and a call center can be remote, which could give you a bit of like comfort. The only certs I really got were CPR training and forklifts. Oh, forklifts, that could be good. But I mean, the certs I'm mostly referring to was like A+ and networking plus, possibly security, although they get harder as you go along. I found a YouTube video that gave you prep for them, and at the time I was not good at it. Like, I took a practice A+ test, didn't do so good. I felt like I had the knowledge, but I lacked the ability to memorize like the terms and like the definitions. I was really bad at that. I'm still bad at that. I don't even know how well I can do in an A+ test. I should try, because it's not that expensive to take the test, and if you fail, it's really no big deal. But that's what was my initial game plan, was get a couple of these certs, get a good position at my last job. Alright, but yeah, you know, things just kept getting worse. But yeah, sort of losing my train of thought. But yeah, I don't recommend working in a call center. There's zero downtime, and for me, I like a little bit of downtime. Like, I feel like statistically most jobs have a lot of downtime. Like, you don't spend the entire day actually working, you know what I mean? In my current job, I have a great amount of downtime, so much so that I watch a lot of videos. And they're cool with it because people do it openly where I work. You just have to make sure the machines are running. When they error out, pause the video and fix it, as long as it doesn't distract from your job. But call center was call after call of bullshit, and I hated it. I at some point got a dispatcher position where instead of taking the calls, I would watch routes. That had its own pros and cons to it, but it was like after 5 years, I had extreme burnout. I got burned too many times, and there was just too many issues going on that, you know, my job, like, they turned their backs on me, so I left them. So yeah. I use Excel on a daily basis, but I know nothing about formulas. Well, yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, you can know these programs, but if you don't know, like, the finer details, it may not help so much. Excel in particular has, like, a lot of these little features that a lot of big companies really want to know. Yo, cats! Doing beta testing tonight. I'm assuming you mean Fall Guys. I'm gonna load up Fall Guys probably off stream. I don't know if I'm gonna miss it. But yeah, I'm just sort of talking about my degree and all that. But yeah, it's just funny how that works. I felt like, you know, I was doing my last job at the telecommunications company. They gave us these monthly reviews, which were always demeaning. But I swear, like, by like the last 2-3 years, I was scoring consistently 100%. The job they wanted me to do, I was doing exceptionally, but it was never enough. It was never enough. Like, I apply and they block my application, and they gave me some nonsense excuse. Or even on some occasions, they did it under false pretenses. And when I call them out on it, like, they never fucking apologize. They never do. It is what it is. Certain people who claim to, you know, help me, like, be on my side and understand my position, the second they accept a supervisor position, they succumb to assistant manager syndrome, and I realize that they're total fucking assholes. Only one dude became a supervisor who didn't become a fucking asshole. I respect him. He still works there, actually. I hope it works out for him. And that guy was really cool too. Haven't had a chance to talk to him. I don't want to risk it. Him associating with me might be harmful to him. Oh well. I completed in career skill Olympics for spreadsheets in high school. Wait, what? Am I reading that right? Spreadsheets and all that? Do you mean using Excel? I'm sorry, that went over my head. I got silver medal 2 years. Oh, you talking about you actually did some kind of thing? That's really cool. All right. My last job was in inventory shipping and receiving, and the downtime there was watching videos, but my new job downtime is grab a broom, pretend to sweep, and find a hiding spot. Yeah, I mean, for me, the kind of job I want is like, I'm not one of those people who like want to look for a job that's their passion, because everyone wants to do a job they're passionate about, but that's not the reality. I should do full-time streaming. That ain't gonna happen. I have no illusions of that sort of thing. I just want a job that has one of three things. First, pays well. Okay, if it pays well, if you pay me enough, there's a lot of jobs I'd be willing to do if you pay me good enough. You know, a job with no downtime, but they pay me 6 figures. Fuck, I mean, I'm getting paid to do it, and it's more stressful, so there's a reason for it. Another thing I would like in a job that has more of a laid-back atmosphere. As I said, good amount of downtime. A job where I don't feel like I'm stressed out unnecessarily without like a supervisor breathing down my neck. My current job is like that. Like the management is totally hands off. They just look at like the numbers we run, and basically if someone's not doing their thing, it becomes apparent, and then someone walks over and asks, why are things not working out? Oh, the tool's down, I can't run the thing. Okay, I'm leaving. It's like, why are the things down? Oh, I was busy watching this video essay and I forgot to run the machine. Okay, we're gonna have a talk to you about that. Then that's acceptable, you know? Don't let it interfere with your job. But yeah, so I want good pay, or layback, like a very like low stress environment. Ideally, both of them together would be nice. If I had to choose between a job with high pay or low stress, that would be tough. I would have to look at the context. The third thing is a clear and obvious means to achieve one of the first two. So that's kind of a subjective thing, because I'm sure any job would tell you, oh, we have advancement opportunities, we have pay raises. But if it's like, if you work for the military, they actually have it like pretty laid out, obviously, how things are, you know, gonna go for you. But my last job, working at the call center, they gave us this big song and dance about how they had, like, during training, our trainer admitted to us that we pay less than what most people in the industry does. However, we will hire you for higher positions because we get you at a bargain. And I know it might be bad to say, but we do pay you in experience, you know. If you don't want to stay with us, you know, you'll build your resume. Didn't get any of that shit. Got none of it. So that is what it was. And yo, Dan, how you doing? Just be a drug lord. Well, yeah, it's called being a pharmacist. Funny story. I actually went to a training program to be a pharmacy tech. It didn't work out. Complicated story, where I went to this program to be a pharmacy tech while I was working at Radio Shack, and all the jobs to be a pharmacy tech were either like at Walmart, where they basically paid not much over minimum, or at a mom and pop shop where they would actually train you to do more specialized skills. However, there's high competition and they want you to be certified, which is not required in New York State, but if you get certified as a pharmacy tech, you're more credentialed, so to speak. I took the class to train for the certification class. I got a promotion at Radio Shack that sort of made me think that, you know, going this whole new path, there's a lot of variables. Advancing in Radio Shack, as dumb as it sounds, like just more money in the short term until I like work on an actual degree. I decided short term I'm going to take the Radio Shack position, because back then for Radio Shack I got paid to watch TV, and that was such a tempting thing. Where I worked was like the lowest customer turnout in our district. We got paid to watch TV essentially, and I got promoted to do slightly more, like to lock the store at night, or to do the bank drops, and I got a little bit more money. I was like, and I did a lot of homework, and it was just too good. Right now I get $17.50. The job is laid back, but there's really not any room to go further unless you want to be lead or supervisor. Being a lead or supervisor, I've never done that. I don't feel like it's something I want to do. And it just, I don't know. It just feels like you get way more. I don't know if the pay increase is worth it. because you're responsible for the people that you're supervising. If the people fuck up, then you also get in trouble. I don't know. I genuinely hope the people that I hope my supervisor got in fucking trouble during like the last year or so I was working at my last job. Fucking bitch. Anyway, I can't do jobs where you do nothing. I gotta do something. I'm the opposite, actually. I remember like people at my current job telling me is that, you know, the day may feel long because there's not much to do, but you know, occasionally sometimes things will happen. I'm like, I'd rather be nothing to happen. I find I kill more time like fucking around on YouTube or reading random shit on the internet as opposed to doing work. I'm maybe it's just a bit of laziness in me. I just doing less is better for me, and it makes for me doing consistent work, like work I don't like to do. It makes a day feel worse for me. It makes the day feel longer. Unless it's work that I'm like really into. For only 1 month at Radio Shack, I got promoted to repair phones. I got trained. I went to New York City and this was intense training, by the way, to open these phones, diagnose, replace the screens, replace the batteries if they're internal, and as well as a whole other litany of things. And I just really enamored by that. And I got pretty decent at it as well. It was fun. I mean, you know, just wasn't there. I was lead before at SNR, and you get paid a bunch, but it was not worth the stress for 26 an hour. Yeah, I mean, I heard of, I remember hearing a story of some guy I knew like very indirectly who was a manager at a restaurant. I found out that he was getting paid quite a bit for like managing this restaurant. I think it was in New York City, or maybe it was in a more hot, I don't remember where exactly. I didn't know the guy. I was like all like third hand. But apparently this guy had a problem where he would routinely go into the bathroom randomly to puke his guts out. I was like, how could you do that routinely? Like, if he's that stressed out, like that can't be good for you. It's like that sucks. And then he's like, he does it because he just gets paid so much, and you know, like paying for his family, paying for his kids' education. I was like, well, you know, a man's got to do what he's got to do. You mean you got to work, and sometimes you got to accept these crap jobs, even temporarily. It is what it is. I personally have never worked in any food at all, industry at all, either as a waiter or working at like a fast food joint. The idea of working at a fast food joint makes me sick. Like, that's even worse than working retail. I don't even mind retail that much if it's not like super busy. I'm not a fan of running the register. Oh no, I kind of like stocking shelves. Of course, you get paid shit and it's labor intensive, but if I try getting a job at like Costco or one of those like those retailers that specifically give you the opportunity, they pay you a lot, so to speak. But they're hard, they're high competition, and they really want people with like good retail experience. Like, they take up managers from like lower stores to be normal associates. But yeah, and stress eat. Oh yeah, I've been there. Oh geez, my diet went downhill since I worked at my current job, which is a lot more laid back. However, the food options is like, they have a cafeteria. However, it's like super basic and I don't really like it. I tried to bring my lunch whenever possible. Most of the time, like, I just make myself something small, like a small either peanut butter and jelly sandwich with some chips, or if my parents got cold cuts, we make like a salami or Italian sandwich. But occasionally, if I'm too lazy to get that together, I would just go out to eat. And, you know, going out to eat is both more pricey and not good for you. And I've been doing that, I think, a little too much. And I thought me walking around and lifting things occasionally would even out. It hasn't. I haven't been to a gym since the lockdowns, and it's... My doctor, you know, pointed out that I had a bit of a weight gain over the last physical, so I gotta be mindful. Like, I gotta stop drinking this shit right here. This is the problem. It's good shit though. Good shit. Really, most of the problem is what you drink. I used to like iced tea, but when this is on sale, I can't say no. I get Arizona iced teas. That's my main drink, but when this is on sale at like a ShopRite, I just can't say no. I should start saying no. Arizona's cans are still $1. Somehow inflation did not affect the Arizona, like, the big cans, if you know what I mean, out of gas stations. I mean, I get pissed off when I fill my tank now and recently, but I buy like a good 3-4 cans of Arizona, the double-sized cans, and that's like my lunch drink. Oh, hold on. I have too much Mountain Dew in the house right now. 6 cases. Yeah, I got 2 cases of these right now. They're addicting. I mean, they're made to be addicting. They want you to buy this shit. If I were to get soda, I should probably at least baby step down to like Sprite. Yeah, gas is too fucking high. Man, I drive like 40 fucking minutes. 60 miles, that's rough. I have like a 20 something, 30 mile commute, and I thought that was bad. I thought it was bad that I passed the toll booth. Now it's like the toll booth charges nothing. It's the fucking gas. I bought so many because they're Baja Blast? Where the fuck did you buy Baja Blast? I thought that was a Taco Bell exclusive. Damn it, Copeland, you're gonna make me go and look for and buy this shit. How dare you? A goddamn motorcycle. How dare you, Copeland? Fuck, I go to Taco Bell mostly for Baja Blast because that's some real good shit. Sort of like, I mean, I don't mind these conversations. I always wanted to do Just Chatting. I'm definitely going off the path of my Bachelor celebration and, you know, my streaming history, but I feel like it's all very mildly relevant. Just being able to shoot the shit. But yeah, I was talking a bit ago and I think I got distracted about online classes. Hold on. I bought the last 3 cases the store had that weren't the zero sugar stuff. I fucking hate that sugar-free crap, and I've heard that that's actually kind of worse for you in most instances. I mean, your body processes everything into sugar anyway. If it takes more steps to break it down, I think it's not good for your like pancreas or something. I don't know. I'm not a biologist. I don't fucking know. Yep, half hour and 30 miles to 30 miles back home. Oh, okay. You're talking round trip. I take, yeah, 20 something there, 20 something back for me. So I'm in a similar boat. It's about a 40-minute drive. I try to make the most of it by like listening to a lot of podcasts. It's just kind of a bummer because my last job, it wasn't a remote job. My commute was less than 3 minutes. It's down the road from me where I live, which is why I don't like to talk about it. Just so none of you buttholes can track it down, but it was really close. Super like good commute, and they really played it up as a good place to advance, and then they really fucked it up. Listening to all of your Doom facts. Oh, you're talking about when I was on Axe's stream, that one Axe, and he was playing Doom. Most of those I stole from another YouTuber. What the fuck was his name? I can't even remember. I will tell you in a second. I will look it up. Hold on. Let me see. What was his name? His name is Decino? Decino. That guy, I learned a lot about Doom watching his videos. Decino. I don't know how to say his name. But, you know, he... You know, big on that front. Oh boy. Okay. In about 10:15 for me, used to be half an hour until we moved to a house. Oh man, I almost forgot. When I got promoted at Radio Shack to repair phones, I'm an idiot and accepted a promotion all the way down to New Jersey. I worked in New York. I accepted a promotion in New Jersey. That was like a damn near hour commute. Thank God I only did that for 1 month. That was really stupid. I don't know why the fuck I did that. Whatever. I really wanted to like get in their good graces. Just like I tried to get in the good graces in my last job. I used to like try to have some kind of loyalty to where I worked. And I know it's kind of like dumb because, you know, I try to like do what I can so I might get something as well, you know, like, I mean, as anyone would. I wanted to try to like keep myself like on the at least with my last job, like I really tried to make it seem like I was one of the people who wanted to stay there. I was in there for the long haul. A lot of people left. I was in my hiring class, which had like 10 people. I was the last one, and my supervisor who got hired with me. My supervisor had a lot of supervisorial experience elsewhere, so that's why she got the supervisor position. But everyone else left. And I tried to say, is like, I wanted to build a career here. Whenever I applied to any position in the company, I was like, I want to build a career. This is why I'm applying. And I just kept getting dumped on at one after another. And, you know, like I said, they turned their back on me, and now I'm turning my back on them. My new rule now is that within 3 years, if I work a job and I'm not where I want to be after 3 years, and I should start to leave. Maybe I shouldn't even be that long, really. I was there for fucking 5, and they kept screwing with me, but... you know, story for another time, perhaps. If I want a job super close, I'd be making far less. It's either grocery store, yeah, I mean that is an issue. That's why remote jobs are quite attractive. I got very lucky with my job, because it was at the call center, telecommunications, and it was really close to me, and they had these lofty promises of advancement, which never came to be. I have no loyalty after my last job burned me out of. And I worked there for 10 years. Oh, man, I'm sorry for that. I have to remind myself that 5 years of being screwed over is bad, but I hear stories of people being screwed over after like 20, and you know, it's just, I guess, at some point, and I don't want to like make this seem like I'm crazy, but I was, you know, having meetings with a therapist mostly just to deal with other shit going on. And on the subject of where I was working, I was like saying, like, just, you know, it was such a terrible environment. I was there for so long, and my psychologist, or the I don't know if they were psychologists, maybe they were just a social worker. They talked about how the rule they live by is quit early and quit often. You'll be much happier, because they gave me personal stories of like the awful jobs they used to work. Like this person I spoke with used to work at a prison dealing with inmates and their problems, and they said that it was so awful that they had to quit. Like, even if they had no job lined up, they had to quit and just find something else until they found something better, you know. And, you know, that sort of stuck with me. It's just you find a job, and if you find something better, go for it. Don't like stay at a place for so long. I got pretty lucky, went through a temp agency. I should really think about that. I never worked as a contractor. I should like think about that. Maybe I can get like steady work and not have to be too concerned about like advancement and all that. I think if housing prices go down, I could easily find a small house near my job. We have to. I don't know how long of a wait. I didn't see the second half of that. But again, I don't see it as my forever job. But I've been there a year. Yeah, I guess that's like another thing. Like I really would like an online remote job. Boy. Yeah, working at a yeah, I mean, the inmates, they need their psychological help, because most people in jails are in there because they're crazy and they do crazy shit. Not to the like being institutionalized crazy, but you know, statistically speaking, if you're a criminal who commits a violent crime and you're in jail, there's like something in your background, you know, that whole psychoanalyst thing. My sister is in the field, so I have like a bit of understanding of that whole aspect. And even if you have to like see, like, or make an appointment to see a shrink, I know like there's big controversy with BetterHelp. BetterHelp turned out to be like some kind of scam or some shit. But the idea of like talking through your problems before they could get worse is like personal maintenance sort of thing. Assuming you can do it like with your insurance, because you know they're expensive. Fucking that's another, is like a kind of a scam, honestly, sometimes. Yeah. And yes, my I guess streaming was definitely like a good thing to sort of help me unwind, to not deal with, you know, the baggage of, you know, IRL. Because, you know, when I was at like some like low points, I would still like stream and make a good time to sort of, you know, escape. So the escapism, like playing the games or watching something, you know, as a form of escapism. And for me, like streaming and like sort of hosting and all that sort of played that role, you know. But, you know, I also want to bring up something that's sort of like the baggage that came with it when I used to have to deal with fucking that one asshole I alluded to in the past who was manipulative and would cause issues with other streamers and me. That brought the issues in the streaming sphere, and that guy like just sort of made everything worse. And I remember I brought this up to him when I had this whole conversation about how he's turning streaming into a job. This is not a job. I don't want it to be like that. You're treating it like one. Knock it off. And recorded that whole conversation. And that got spread around a little bit, you know, because he was trying to make me disassociate with people he didn't like, that he caused issues with. Very, very brief spark notes. This fucker was saying shit to someone. This person said, like, you know, he said something like, when someone says shit to you and you tell them to fuck off or you're being an asshole, that's normal. This fucking bastard done this multiple times where he says a bunch of shit. So they will react, call this person an asshole, and then this person would clip that and tell everyone, look what he called me for like no reason, and we gotta disassociate with him. It's awful. Like I helped him with everything, and he would say this to me and spread it around. And then I asked the person that he was accusing of this, like, hey, what's going on? It's like, oh, here's the chat log, the full thing. And I was like, and I looked at the context, and it was like, but yeah, he bought me a hat. This fucker. All right, so I kind of like wearing hats. He would do this thing where he would buy you gifts and then hold it over your head. He bought me a fucking hat, and he would bring this up. Fucking piece of shit. And he like no joke. It's like, I supported you. I gifted subs. I bought you a hat. Like, and this was his defense for him being a total fucking asshole. And it's just, I've often wanted to like go over the audio recording because it's so insane. I had a conversation with this guy and I recorded it because I wanted to protect myself. And it's fucking insane. I asked people, like, am I crazy? Is this person out of his fucking mind? And people listened to it, confirmed he's out of his fucking mind. And he brought the baggage I was trying to escape from my IRL into the streaming sphere. And he was like scheming and like doing all this shit, trying to throw people under the bus, demanding an us versus them mentality. T-Trax knows all about it. He had a personal run-in with him, which I don't know how much you would like to share about that, T-Trax, but T-Trax was on his, like, this person had like a Hall of Fame, like top 10 people who would like win the most in an arena. T-Trax was number 1. And when T-Trax decided not to disassociate with us, this person deleted him from the top 10 and basically pulled a Stalin, deleted T-Trax where T-Trax didn't exist. And oh boy, the deranged messages, and there are certain other things that happen that would be funny, like gifts being regifted, if you know what I mean, T-Trax. I wish he found out about that because that would be funny. The guy's name, Paul Duran. I mean, Doll Paran. He doesn't stream anymore. That's not his real name. That's not his real name. It is a boxing themed stream, and Duran is the name of a famous boxer. He doesn't stream anymore. He better not. But, you know, just fair warning. Extremely. It was just like really fucking weird. Like, I was just so bemused when this was going down. He was very cordial with me. Like, he would like try to get me to side with him on issues, and I was like trying to be indifferent. Like, I was sitting on the fence most of the time when really I probably should have cut him off early, but I figured like there was maybe he wasn't like this bastard who was like lying and manipulating. Maybe this guy is just really sensitive and I should just, you know, try to calm him down and not cause these issues. Because I pointed out to him that several times he was part of a community. He would inevitably get offended by something and then make a big stink about it. And I told him, like, there's a pattern here. There's a fucking pattern. Like, it keeps happening. And now I wholeheartedly believe it was all intentional. It was deliberate. I believe he was doing it deliberately to get people, because he would try to get community members of this old people to go to him, and he would go to these several people, make one big community, demand this person be excised out, and then consolidate it to him. Yes, it was something. You know, maybe one day I will go into it in a more organized fashion. It involves a lot of people, if anyone's willing to talk about it, to give their 2 cents, because I was actually kind of away from the worst elements of it. It was like he did some really fucked up shit to other people, and then at one point I told him it's over, we're disassociating, and then it went away, and he didn't really mess with me so much. He so I was spared the brunt of it. Basically, I stopped it before it happened to me because I saw it happening. We had this big conversation, which I have the audio of, fucking over 40 minutes. He would demand I would remove this person from my stream who was a mod at the time. He would think we need to remove him. And then he would say, you know what, bring him in the call because I want to question him. So we'd bring him in the call. And then both me and him were questioning on these things like, you're overreacting. You're like, you're going overboard. Like, you're saying this is a problem, but what you're doing is worse. And then he would get like his responses, like he would waffle and like not have consistency in, you know, in he wouldn't have consistency in his responses. And then after we were done, it was like, hey, does anyone have anything else to say? No, we're done. Okay. Then after we were done, he would message me, hey, I want to talk. I was like, you just said we were done. And then he asked me again hours later, I just want to talk. And then he tried doing the same thing. It was like, I supported you, GK. I've been there for you. And I'm like, oh my God, I was like fucking crazy. Did this guy do a game of Mario Party? Yes, there are VODs of him playing. He is incredibly, like, we basically had to play for him. He was incapable of comprehending how to play the game, and it was just so insane to me. So insane. By the way, I don't think the sound commands will work. I had to mute him for my setup. Oh boy. Yeah, man, I don't know. Maybe one day. I have to clear it with certain people who were involved, because it wasn't just me and him. It was me, someone I was friendly with who all was being like lied to about by this person, and then this person. So it was me and him, and then it was me, the person I am friendly with, and then him. So I don't know if this person wants to sort of forget about all this and not want to talk about it, you know. But there are quite a bit of receipts, so to speak. I was there for you in the trenches. I don't remember how much you were involved, John. I hope it didn't ever spill over to you, because he would bring like viewers into this shit. Like, it was really fucked up. Like, it was one. I mean, it was fucked up when he brings streamers into it, but he would like try to like DM like people in the community, like viewers. Ugh. I need to talk. Oh boy, that never is a good thing to hear. Well, it didn't end well for him. And in that conversation, I do regret heavily, like, not pushing him more. I was trying to, like, give him the benefit of the doubt. I really should have just been, like, more, like, pushing him. It wasn't good. Wasn't good, but I don't know. It would be nice to get that off my chest one day. Like, that dude, one of the worst people I have had to associate with. Like, it was always about him. Like, very, very narcissistic. You know, it's not really a good idea to like psychoanalyze people without someone knowing what they're talking about and also talking to the person. But it's like through secondhand is like, he said this, he did this in response to that. Is this his normal reaction? No. Telltale signs of someone has some narcissistic tendencies? Yeah. I was moderator for one of the Smash people that got found out to be involved in some of the and whatnot. I still don't know if anything is going on. I cut all ties. Oh, damn. Okay. My aforementioned ex-friend was super selfish too. Yeah. At first, you know, it's one of those things where he was like a friend of mine for a bit, and I just figured he was a little bit full of himself. You know, some people are like that. But no, it was like... It was never his fault. It was always like, this person said this to me. He got offended when someone called him a dick. He acted like it was the worst thing in the world. He called me a dick, and he would go on these tirades. He would message several people demanding they ban him from from their servers because he called me a dick. Like, this is not someone you want around. I did all this for him, and he called me a dick. When he was, and I don't want to like say exactly what he was saying to this person, but he was saying way worse shit, and the person responded saying, "You're being kind of a dick," which is the most milquetoast response. If it was me, I probably would have called him worse. Fucking crazy. Ugh, man. These type of people will never learn. Yeah, no, yes. I dealt with that motherfucker for a year. I'm glad I didn't even have a deal. I was a couple months. It was almost a year. It was a couple months. Ugh. You know what really sucked too is that I've been thinking about getting rid of it, but I have like a Streamlabs top 10 like sub gifter thing, and he still shows up on it. I can't ban him from it. He gets banned from the chat one, the Twitch integrated one, because, you know, I banned and blocked him, so he's been removed, but not from the Streamlab ones under the stream. But I figured he'll eventually get buried. He's been gone long enough, he'll eventually get buried. Ugh. But yeah, so that was fun. Another thing this guy would do that is also a big red flag is that he would pull, which is, you know, I'm talking about me getting my degree. He would pull, like, he has his degree in marketing. He's been educated in communications. Like, legit, one interaction with certain people he didn't like. And he's like, listen, GK, I have a degree in marketing. I know all about communications. This is what's gonna happen. It's gonna devolve worse, and you have to trust me. It's like, he pulled the credentialist card on me, and he held it over people's head. He would insult people. It's like, you just have like this degree. I have a higher degree than you. And ugh, fucking Christ, obnoxious. Which is why I was kind of hesitant to sort of like talk about this, and why I say it's a worthless piece of paper. Because the knowledge I have now versus the knowledge I had a couple months ago is not that different. I have the piece of paper which says I'm worth more now. Fucking crazy. Oh, man. Freaking just got that down the wrong throat. I have a degree. I don't hold it over anyone because what I do hardly pertains to it. Yeah, and it's like, honestly, most people don't care. Stop drinking soda. I have a degree that says it's bad. Oh shit, I better not then. Well, let me switch to water. You're right, Colorama. Which, speaking, which reminds me, it was sort of like what went down. Not, I think, less overtly bad, but still not good. Like what happened at Game Attack. I think it was more selfishness in a position of power instead of pure 100% malice. I still think the people at Game Attack, what they did, they were fucking assholes, but it wasn't like that was their intention the whole time. It was like they had to play ball, and you know, they tossed away their friend for a position of importance. That's a very complicated. Yeah, hang time. That's a more complicated situation that I'm not in the know. I know all that like secondhand, so don't take my word for it. But yeah. So it's always cathartic talking about it. It's just funny I have that stupid fucking hat. I actually thought about when I was gonna cut ties with him, I was gonna like burn this in a fire outside. Like I live on 4 acres, so I could throw it in a bonfire, but I figured it's still a good hat. And just because an asshole gave it to me doesn't change the fact that it's a good hat. I don't wear hats that often just because kind of irritates me after a while, even though people say I look good in these baseball caps. Maybe I should make that like a redemption thing. And like there's a good amount of quality in this hat too. It has like little egg symbols on the other side and all that. It was pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, like even the tag is like pure fabric, so it doesn't really hurt my head. You know, nice hat, nice a sort of a minimalist design with these Yoshi outlines and then one prominent Yoshi. Yeah. And the Nintendo seal of quality, which is a sticker I should remove, but I think it looks okay. But yeah, I don't know. At least my hair is shorter, so it will fit better. When my hair gets long, I fucking hate wearing that shit. Although, if I'm like being super lazy and I have unkept hair and I don't like brushing it to its side, maybe I should wear the hat and deal with the uncomfortable feeling of it, just so I don't have to like brush my hair. That's honestly what makes VTubing kind of tempting, is because you can just show up like a total slob, like with the same shirt you've been wearing for several days, unkept hair, looking all disheveled, and you just throw on the VTube mask and no one would know. Oh boy, not bad. I'm thinking about VTubing. Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy. What's going on here? Just checking something. Okay. So, oh, what is this? I think I had a similar case of someone I knew at work gave me a gift card. He did really horrible things and is currently in prison. Oh, fuck. But I wasn't gonna not use the 25. Yeah, it's just like I have a couple of things around my house that are branded with my old place of work. Like, I'm not gonna throw that shit out just because I hate where I used to work. It's free shit. It is what it is. Oh boy. I mean, if that person's in jail, it probably did some real bad things. My fucking earpiece is falling out. Yeah, I don't know how interested people would be, like, if I do regular just chatting streams, just a sort of chit chat. I don't know how often I have things to talk about or how often I'll wind up repeating myself. I kind of like this, but I just don't know how often I have things to say. I do want to do editing streams. If I can get back into video editing for my YouTube channel, maybe streaming the editing process. Oof, that's rough, John. That's rough. Alright, well. Also, I should mention tomorrow, this is not set in stone, but I might be doing a podcast, an official podcast, organized, talking with Char, developing, Party project. You know, we'll see how that turns out. Keep an eye on the Discord if it happens. Hot tub stream soon. Nah, not for me. Maybe if I VTube and that put the VTube character in a PNG of a tub, that might work. Ugh. Oh boy. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything with everything going on in the past. You know, me streaming, which eventually turned into a more serious effort. And yes, thank you, AJ. You know, getting the degree, and then now it's all about finding something. And if I get like a decent and consistent schedule out of something, I might be able to do Mario Party twice a week. I used to do it every Wednesday and every Friday, but, you know, with my alternating work schedule, it just wasn't feasible. And I figured, you know, doing it once a week might make each Mario Party game more special. But if I do it more frequently, it'll give people a better opportunity to actually play when they want. Oh, boy. What do you consider decent? Wait, what was that in reference to? It's another thing I'm pretty bad at, is just trying to like pick up the context of like what you guys are saying with like the stream delay and all that. Oh, decent schedule. Okay. Well, I like my schedule. However, it doesn't allow me to stream as much because I'm never in the mood to stream when I work. or decent pay. So, if I work like I don't like the idea of working 5 days, like 9 to 5, but to me, since I've been working 12-hour days, I feel like the days will be short. And I used to stream frequently when I worked 5 days a week. I used to stream at the end because you have enough hours, like the whole 8 hours work, 8 hours play, 8 hours rest, that whole thing. And when I work 12 hours, I have considerably less leisure time until the following day where I have to work again. If I work 2 days in a row or even 3 days in a row, it's like I don't have much time and I can't really stream. And even if I have off that following day, I'm always kind of tired and I feel like I'll just be yawning through. And I feel like I do that a lot. So, but if I do work a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job, that will allow me to stream more frequently, although shorter. I prefer longer streams. However, if I have a job like that, a shift like that, I'll probably stream more frequently, but shorter. Like, it would be Mario Party every Wednesday, every Friday, but probably only one game, not 2 or 3. But it depends. I have to see if I get the fucking job, wherever it is. It's possible that, I might have a job that will be super demanding. Or decent pay. I don't know. I get kind of weird about talking about pay, but obviously I want to get paid more as opposed to less. My degree, I see projections at the absolute minimum that I could be getting paid double than what I am right now at the semiconductor place, which will be good. Don't want to talk about what I'm getting now, but double would be nice. What's your favorite Mario Party board from each game? I have to really think about that. I do want to do a board tier list at some point in the future. Probably will take me a bit, but be on the lookout for that. That'll be a good project to do. Yeah, that's how I am. I'm on a 3-on, 3-off rotation and get every other weekend off. Yeah, for me, it's like every week it alternates. So this week, I'm off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I work Monday, Tuesday. Then I'm off Wednesday, Thursday, and then I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it keeps alternating. Then I'm off Monday, Tuesday. I work Wednesday, Thursday, and then I'm off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it alternates. And working 2 days doesn't really feel like much to me. Working the weekend is kind of rough. However, the weekends is so chill. Really chill where I work. Because on the weekends, there are no engineers. And therefore, there's less going on. During the week, the engineers where I work, they have a standard Monday through Friday shift. So during the week, it's more projects, more stuff happening. The weekend, they're not there, so we have less to do. And it's a more chill environment. So, more videos to watch. It depends. Ow, fuck. Just hit my computer desk. Ugh. That's how we are. It's just one line operating. Yeah. I will miss this shift. I've grown very addicted to this shift because I like all the days off I have. Like, every other week is like a little mini vacation. I might even have to take some time off, like, around the 4th of July. And they don't even seem to care too much if too many people take off the same day. It's like, you gotta work with people around you to sort of, like, organize it. Because if some people are off, then other people have to cover in your area. So the more people are off, the more people have to work that are there. And they say it's like, check the schedule and work it out with your coworkers, which is so weird to me. Is like, they trust us to manage ourselves. We do not punch out for work or breaks. They say, go on your break, let the people you know around you that you're going on break, don't abuse it, come back on time. And it was like, wow, this is actually really chill. I don't have to fucking punch out or like go back to the minute. If I'm slightly late, no big deal. If I could go in a little bit early, no big deal. And on paper, we're supposed to have 2 15s and one hour lunch. However, everyone combines their 2 15s into one hour. Because they add the time to go in and out of the... When you work in a semiconductor factory, you have to wear a clean suit. So they add the time to get out of the clean suit. So the second you walk out the door, your hour starts. So, yeah. What's your honest opinion on Sonic Shuffle? Never had the chance to play it. It does not really look that good. I don't know. I get off every day. Wait, what are we talking about? Okay. All right. But yeah. So I foresee if there's any job I'm going to get after this point, my work schedule is going away. But that's just the reality of it. I'll be getting a lot more pay, which is going to make up for the fact that I'm going to be working more days in the week. Maybe the workday will be easier. Because now I'm thinking 12 hours is like nothing. And I like to think that in my mind, when I work 8 hours, it'll feel like I'll just go in and then basically leave. I will see what happens. Maybe I shouldn't have read that Colorama. Oh well. Talking about having off at work. What's wrong with talking about having off at work? I don't know. I just hope that if whatever job I do get, it's, you know, it will have what I want, either good pay or good downtime. Or both. I would like both. Or even remote work. Oh boy. Like if I had remote work, you know, and it's like more like less coming down, I could make time to play more video games. That's one thing I can do, obviously, is that I can only watch videos. I can't play anything because it's at the semiconductor foundry. Yeah. I like where I am because we get Thanksgiving and the weekend after and Christmas off. Yeah, we get Thanksgiving and Christmas off as well. However, they give people the option to go in and work, which I'm like, no thanks. No. It's my time to have off. I just holiday feel, even though you get so much, you get the holiday pay and all that. I worked Memorial Day and they gave us an option to either accept 8 hours of extra pay or 8 hours of personal time to take off, but we have to take off like within 2 months. I'm probably gonna take the time off. Just because time off is so valuable where I work, because you take 1 day off, it combines with the days around it. GK, will you do your own Mario Party tournament in your Discord, like a little fun Discord thing to see who's the top Mario Party player? That's a little too complicated to manage. That's something Mario Level Up for Charity does already. They do Mario Party Legacies. I just feel like it's just enough to host games here and there. Don't need to make it super organized. The organization comes from Mario Party Legacy. But before my shipping job, they were a 365 24/7 operation. Technically where I work it's like that too. They just ask people to it's on a volunteer basis, and they have apparently they have some people who often go in on the holidays. They have people who've been working there for like almost 30 years, 30 years. Yeah, season 6 is actually going on in Level Up for Charity. They're almost done. And I don't know when they're going to start for season 7. I don't know how much, I forget how long they take in between seasons. I was in season 4. I made playoffs. I'm proud of that fact. I made playoffs. I missed one fucking game, but you know, it wouldn't have made that much of a difference. I'm just proud of that. Even if I got knocked out immediately in playoffs, I made playoffs. I also got the happening bonus point during that season, which I don't think they're still doing. I don't remember. They have like a really good rule set for Level Up for Charity. They've been doing it, you know, for 6 seasons, so they got a good thing going. I think the earlier seasons were prone for abuse, but they managed to plug up those issues. And that's why I'm not been participating in Level Up for Charities, because my work schedule is just too inconsistent, and I don't want to like. They had a good consistent schedule like every weekend or like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I didn't want to be the one guy that had to like change the schedule around for. And you know, again, maybe if I find another job that is a Monday through Friday, then I can maybe join up again. I don't know. They have a lot of people now. Maybe I'm not really needed over there. I would like to though. Yeah, I know a coworker of mine always did that. He had perfect attendance and worked at every holiday, and was always someone who took my sick time, and when I had seniority, never worked a holiday. Yeah, it's just like some people are like the workaholic types. You know, good on them. They get, you know, money. And yeah, 2 people got banned from playing after season 1. No bans after that though. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I don't know the full story, but it was like two people who would do hard collusion, where they will make sure that if they're in the same game, they would target the other player, so both of them would get like the top 2 spots. I think it was a little bit more complicated than that. They were taking advantage of loopholes in Season 1 rule set, which was their first try. One for being toxic, open collusion. Yeah, okay. And I think they were poor sports. So I heard. I don't know the full story. I just heard it secondhand. Yeah, yeah, on stream, yeah, that's a big. If you're a guest on someone's stream, don't say that shit. Okay? The only N-word you can say is none. Alright, yeah, okay, yeah, that's someone you don't want around. Jesus Christ. Oh, boy. Nintendo. Oh, yes. Nintendo. Jeez. I don't know. I wonder how hard it'll be for me to, like, look for and shop for a new job. My sister gave me some postings for new jobs. But man, some of them are like the ones she picked out for me are more senior level positions, which I don't think I'm qualified or it'll be a tough sell for me because I'm like, you know, just got my bachelor's with no real work experience in it. Ugh, man. See, I'm trying to look at your page on Stream Elements to see the story you were talking about. What are you referring to, Elm? I'm not sure what you're referring to with that. What story? What on Stream Elements? I primarily use Streamlabs, the website. I use Stream Elements for certain things too, so I kind of have like a hybrid system going. I use both. I'm telling you, maybe a temp agency might be the way to go. Pay might be shit at first, but the job I'm at now started me at 15 an hour. I mean, I guess that's fine to start, but that's for where I'm at. That's pretty low. I'm from New York though, so you need more. That would be good for like a state with no freaking state taxes. But yeah, the more the better. I would like more. Always want more. That person that you thought was toxic and you cut off because you said that in that story he's still on your Stream Elements. Oh yeah, my actually I think it's the Streamlabs. It's on my about page on the bottom panels of my stream. I think if you look at like sub gifters, he shows up. Let me see here. Yeah, he still shows up at the bottom of like the sub gifting. Oh, he's actually pretty high up on the fucking sub gifting too. Fuck me. Oh well, it is what it is. It is what it is. You're in Tennessee, no state tax. Yeah, I wish. I'm fucking. I mean, that's an issue with like a lot of states with low state like state tax, states with low state tax off. Like this is not 100% correlated, but often they have less job opportunities. New York has a lot of opportunities, but we have, you know, the bad taxes that are really high. However, with the advent of remote jobs, you know, you can sort of get away with that. You know, it depends though. If you work a remote job, and I don't know if this is true, but one of my friends told me that if I lived in a state with like no income tax, no state tax, and I have a remote job that's based out of California, I would actually have to pay the taxes of the higher state tax. So I would pay Californian state tax. I don't know if that's true though. Tennessee, lots of jobs, but lower pay. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I mean, it depends your locality. I don't. You know, you live there. I don't. I just gotta get the hell out of the state. Oh, boy. That doesn't sound right. Yeah, I don't know. I heard the second hand. Don't quote me on that. I was just told that. I feel like it should be where you fucking live. Like, I work remote for a company, but I'm based out of, like, where I live to do it, so... I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe someone was just fucking me, or they got their details wrong. Again, don't quote me on that. I will have to look in on that, though, if I look for remote jobs, just to make sure. But yeah. Oh, none left. I forgot I switched to water. Trying to become more healthy. Ugh. No, not that guy. He's cool. Haven't had the chance to talk to him in a while, but Mo is cool. I mean, I live in Pennsylvania until I moved, but where I was at, the cost of living was pretty low because it was kind of in the middle of nowhere. Pennsylvania is kind of a state I've been eyeballing. That or like New Hampshire. But yeah, I don't know. It really depends. I hope to move to West Michigan eventually. Actually, that's also on the potential because I got family in Michigan. I don't remember where in Michigan. But that's on my short list of potential places. The thing is that me living in New York, the only states that are worse are like California and Hawaii. Hawaii's understandable because it's like vacation resort. I mean, even Texas is like very, very great weather, but oh, man, the taxes are killer. Were you shy at first starting streaming? I want to stream, but I get shy. Do you have any tips? Okay, I don't know. I will say that when I used to stream hop, before I streamed, I would stream hop on Smash Arenas to play on other people's streams, and I would actually get kind of nervous playing on stream because it felt like I was being watched by so many people. When I started streaming, I kind of felt that too. After I started interacting with people, it slowly went away. And I don't know if I have any tips other than just to do it. Just try to talk to people normal, try to keep up with the chat, which is harder than it seems. And eventually you'll get used to it. Eventually. PA isn't bad. More opportunities closer to the city, I'd say. Where I was and was glad I've gotten to. It was either you work fast food or the manufacturing plant, and I ended up at. Still only 100 miles from family and more stuff to do than here. Yeah, I mean, if you have like family nearby, it could affect your decision. I want a slightly larger city, but not a big metropolitan. I'm huge on like living in the middle of nowhere rule, because I've been spoiled by where I grew up, where I live here. I live on, like, there's no neighbor to the right of me, it's open woods. I hate the idea of living in a suburban town where like your fucking neighbors are like looking at you as you walk out, and it's just like so intrusive. And the idea of living in a city makes me sick. I do not visit cities, sure, but I don't want to live there. I don't want to work there. Even like the good apartments that are like give you a good feeling of privacy, they're super, super expensive. Like living in the city is not feasible. Like not at all. But I desire solitude and privacy, which may be harder to come by. You know, it's possible I might have to rent an apartment somewhere for a bit, just to sort of like wait for the housing market to sort of drop. I don't know. It's a complicated game and I barely understand it. Been saving up, you know, money, but the money I've been saving up is worth less now. Oh boy, I don't know. We'll see. I kind of wanted to own some property and then rent it out to make some passive income, but you know, that's a complicated thing. OMG. When I moved, because I was used to living up north, I was taken aback by neighbors coming up to me and being friendly and saying hello. Yeah, I don't know how I'd feel about that. You know, it's good to like occasionally talk to your neighbors, but I think it's like under controlled circumstances. I just don't physically see my neighbors because they're so far away. It's kind of hard. to see them, you know? And it's just, I don't know. I guess, well, I need to get a better job to afford a not crappy apartment. I guess the one thing about apartments is that you don't have to worry about maintaining your property. That's one thing I actually hate to think about, is maintaining your own property. You could live in a suburban town that has a homeowners association which covers your lawn care, but dealing with the homeowners associations, I hear, is a nightmare. Living in a suburban town, as I said, is annoying because you're like right next to fucking people, and I hate it. It's just, yeah, I don't know. My apartment is going up to $1,000. That is unfeasibly low rent for New York. You'd be lucky to get anything like that. Well, something that isn't a total hole in the wall, I should say. Oh man. But as I said, one of the positives of renting is that you don't have to worry about repairs. You don't have to worry about plumbing. Although, if your landlord doesn't repair that shit or they take forever, that sucks. But it's their responsibility to deal with it in a fast manner, according to your agreement. And you don't have to deal with the lawn care. Another issue with renting an apartment, though, is that you have no resale value. You're paying for that like on a month-by-month basis. If you have a house and you have a mortgage, that's always resellable. And eventually, if you get the mortgage paid off, you keep that property, which you have to keep paying taxes on, which is fucking stupid. But if you want to move, you can sell it to sort of cover the cost. There's pros and cons to it. You know, I'm sort of attracted to the idea of not having to maintenance shit instead of just like cleaning my personal apartment. But then it's like, I hear people around me if I'm streaming and I'm like, unless I get like soundproofing foam, you know, people will hear me talk. Unless it's an apartment with like good soundproofing, but they look like they're always packed tight from the ones I've seen, at least the cheaper ones I've seen. Oh boy. One of my friends actually lived in sort of like what was a house, like a bigger house, was converted into several apartments, and he lived in like sort of the basement area in a walled off area. Very tight. And it was weird, but it was like really cheap. But it was like no bigger than my room, his apartment. Like a little bit bigger than my room. And they had like a common living area where everyone would like share, like try to get dibs on the TV or play video games provided by the landlord. But it was like that sounded like it sucked. Oh, boy. But it was cheap. You know, it is what it is. You know, just try to figure things out. You know, that's like future plans. Ideally, I want like a decent job first, and then I'll think about all that later. Oh, man. So complicated dealing with all this crap. You know, a decent amount of regrets. Like, I kind of wish I didn't slow down my schooling for my last job. I should have really just took like part-time hours just to finish my degree. I could have been done way sooner. I was too concerned about the cost. I felt like I probably could have dealt with it. Whatever. Yeah, I'm used to my mortgage where my 90K home only had a $500 a month payment. You know, I quit college after the first year. You know, if you, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I mean, college really isn't the end all be all. It certainly helps. I try to make it like to build a career where I'm working without it, because I just hate the idea of going to college. I just thought it was like I was told by my family like I should at least get a loan or go to the tuition assistance program, and I was like I did not want to put myself in debt, because what if I didn't finish the degree and I was like several years in and I have all this debt for nothing? What if like I finish my degree but I can't find a job fast enough and I have this like payments that are due that I can't like keep up with, and if I do get a job I have to deal with that? And you know, me going part-time sort of helped with the fact that the job was covering most of the cost, and because I was going part-time, the cost was lower that they were able to cover mostly. So I was able to end it all with no debt, no help from the tuition assistance program, And, you know, I didn't want to, you know, ask my family for any money. I was able to figure it out. But, you know, my sister helped me with certain tougher assignments and resume building, which was invaluable. She used to work when she went to college. She actually got a job in like the writing facility, the place that helps other students write papers, because these people were really good at it. Oh boy, but being debt free is definitely good. People like my IRL friends, whenever I bring it up, they're like, find that a very good thing, a liberating thing I have. I got my associates, ended up buying a home, getting a car, having a good life with my past job. Now I'm debt free. That's good. My sister is still in debt. She has her PhD and, you know, good paying job, but she's still like paying off the loans for that. I just don't know if I could deal with how long that takes. Like, I don't know. I just hate the idea of being in debt. I think how I'm going to get a good job in this economy with no degree. If you know people, honestly, the biggest factor on getting a good career is knowing, having connections. That replaces having credentials. Honestly, it was like one of the things that pissed me off at my last job was when I got denied. My supervisor blocked an interview they were not supposed to block, and I was pissed off at her. And she would try to tell me, you should go, because I used to not go to the cafeteria for lunch. I used to go home because I used to live so close. And she told me that I should go to the cafeteria. I should sit with people. I should talk with people, because this is how you get a better job, is actually making friends with people. It's like, that shouldn't matter. It should be my credentials, but like, and the fact that I do my job good. But, you know, the reality is people know you, you know, they will, you know, they'll be more likely to give you something. But my degree did nothing for that. Well, see, the degree, even if you work in something that your degree is not involved, you can still have your degree on your resume, because it tells your employer that you were able to see something through, that you were able to manage your time and your money to finish the degree. You know, if you want to take anything away from it, that's what a degree tells your employer, that you were able to stick to something for the long term and see it through. You know, I mean, again, having a degree helps. But if you have a connection, or if you somehow find a place that actually respects you being there and doing your job good, they might give you promotions and, you know, reward you. But it's always that, like, you're always unsure if they're ever gonna follow through. Like, I waited 5 years and that was too long for me, and I don't know. The timeline's always wonky. I got my current job partly because my dad owned the store for over 30 years. All right, I don't know the full context of it, but hey, if there's any higher positions, if you're able to prove yourself in your current position, and then, you know, if you are known by people there, like your dad owns it, and you are a provably good and competent at your job, then they'll know that you should be right to be uplifted. At least that's what I think. Honestly, even if it might be hard, a manufacturing job might be good, which I'll bring that up in a bit. I did talk about it a bit before, but it depends on the area. When I started manufacturing, it was 10 an hour, and I worked my way up to 26. By the time I left, I was pretty much topped out by the 3 year with hard work and due diligence. Oh, there's an issue if you work in the same position. Some jobs have a pay cap, like you can only get paid a certain amount. At my last job at the cable company, I actually was close to hitting the pay cap, and I would stop getting pay increases unless I got a new position. Manufacturing, it all depends where and what it is, because some are very labor intensive. I hear warehouses, I don't know if that would be considered that's not manufacturing, but warehouses are very labor intensive, and I do not recommend it. I heard bad things about it. But the manufacturing, if you can find one that isn't crazy with you having to like do physical labor, I work in it right now, and it's a lot more chill, and the fact that you don't have to talk to customers makes the workday so much better. Like, having to talk on the phone with people, or even at the retail store talking to customers, that is what made the day last forever. But if, you know, I like where I work now, the manufacturing at a semiconductor foundry, it's technically entry level, so if you even if, I mean, they always ask for someone with some kind of like technical or an associate's degree or something, but if you are competent at using computers, you might be able to get the job because they're often looking for more people. Yeah. You know, being autistic doesn't help either. I wouldn't know that whole situation, but you know, people joke that certain roles are better for people with that sort of, because you pay attention more to things as opposed to people. Which manufacturing might be fine. I don't know though. Manufacturing here is RV factories. What, like you mean a recreational vehicle like RV? That actually sounds a bit tough. I don't know if I would want to do that myself. I don't know. Semiconductors are easy. It's like I carry things that are never more than like 20 pounds. At most it's 20 pounds. That's me right now. You just wait for big rolls of fiber material to go through machine and then forklift it to the staging area. That doesn't sound too bad if you have like good in-between time. Like if you find a thing that gives you good downtime, then that's good. I often see videos mostly out of like China of people working in these like manufacturing factories, and it looks like hell, you know, like it just looks awful. But yeah, I mean, my personal experience at the semiconductor factory I work, I enjoy the work. The pay was okay, but now that I have my degree, it's not anymore. But downtime and the shift, I love the shift I have. Like, people are openly watching YouTube videos. Like, there's this older woman who's been there for like 20 years, like one of the most senior people, so they can probably get away with a little bit more. My first day I walk in, she's blasting like, and you just congratulated me. I can't read that, but thank you. Whatever, I don't know what, if you have like a anglicized name I can call you. I do appreciate that. The first day I walked into the semiconductor foundry, there was an older woman blasting a soap opera, and she was like, I think she was like from Central America. She was watching a soap opera that was in Spanish, blasting it at full volume while she was like doing her basic work. And I just was like looking, and everyone was walking past her without a care in the world. I was like, does that mean I can do that and no one will care if I do my job good? And, you know, I don't rock the boat. Like, I do my job and I don't flaunt like watching videos. I'm more, when I'm working, I mostly like read shit I can, or I will occasionally watch a video that I can reasonably watch with subtitles on my phone. I actually, it's because I could wear my Bluetooth under my hood, but wearing this long term, it's really fucking itchy. So maybe if I feel more comfortable where I'm at and I'm more senior, I might like watch more videos. But, you know, just being able to read shit's pretty good. All right. Some rolls take 60 minutes to wind. Ooh. You know, where I work in my semiconductor foundry, and I could like get into more specifics, but there's like different machines that do different things. The section I watch has 3 different types of machines, and 2 of those machines are duplicated. So one machine's the measuring tool, which measures the wafers for thickness as well as other things to make sure they pass in like a quality assurance. That takes around 30 minutes. It depends on like what they're measuring. The tools that I have are the grind tools. They take a wafer and they grind down the silicone to a thinner point. That takes over 2 hours. I load the machine. It takes over 2 hours. There are 2 of those, and there's 2 edge grind, which they grind the edges. That takes like an hour and a half. That's a little bit faster, but not by much. So if I have all the tools loaded, they do throw up error messages every now and then, and I just have to spend the like time making sure it's nothing I have to put down for maintenance. If like the grinding tool, like they'll have the blades for grinding, they wear out and they become dull, and the machine will throw an error that the blade's old. I have to say, I put it down that maintenance has to go in and replace the blade, because that's not my job, is to go into the tools. My job is to operate the tools. So I have a lot of downtime. Although, you know, occasionally I might have other projects I have to deal with, as I mentioned with the PowerPoint presentation. Also, they have me learning other tools for development, which is a little more hands-on, so to speak. I actually have to take the wafers out of the thing, hold the wafers by hand, put them in a vat of water to be scanned with the sonogram or sonoscope. Same technology as the sonogram that pregnant women get, but they call it a sonoscope. And it's just that. However, I have to do one wafer at a time. That's a little more tedious, but you know, it's while it's scanning though, is like that one never airs out pretty much. The only thing that happens is that occasionally the water gets dirty and I have to pregnant. I'm not pregnant. The water gets dirty and has to get replaced. But other than that, and that's rare, almost nothing goes to that. But the grind tools I run, which grind the wafer down, when I load something, I just wait, and if it errors, I clear it. When there's no error and I'm waiting, I often like to pace around a lot. I tend to pace back and forth when I get kind of bored and I run out of things to read, or videos to watch like the subtitles on. I don't know, but it is what it is. I find that makes the day go faster if I can find something to sort of like read through. Then, you know, day goes by pretty quick for me having less to do. At least that's how I feel. I've also thought about, like, if I get back into making videos, I could spend that time to make outlines for videos. Not to, like, write a full script. That'll be too involved. But to at least make outlines if I have ideas to, like, write it down. That'll be a good use of time there. That would be kind of fun. And good use of time. I don't really need to learn anything else. It's 3 lines, but all have the same concept. Stage 1 is the card operator. Stage 2 is oven. Stage 3 is the winder, splitter, and I've done all 3. That's pretty good. You gotta learn most of it. There are dozens upon dozens of tools at where I work that other people just specialize and learn sections. I learned the grind section. Other people learned other sections that apply silicone layers. And occasionally, once you learn and they hire more people, they will shift people around to learn other tools to get certified to run more tools. It takes a long time to get certified. And some of these tools have a lot of quirks that are kind of like hard to know. I've gotten real good with my current tools that I've learned. But like learning a new tool and it's like totally different. It has a different operating system, it has a different interface. There's little consistency. So you stay in one place, you're like that guy that deals with that area, and then you help out with other places sometimes. Ugh, man, it's starting to make my ear itch. Fucking, I really don't even need to have the earpiece in, but I want to listen to the music. I like the video game lounge. Oh boy. But man, that drive does kind of kill me though. That fucking 40-minute drive bums me out. But hey, I do love my 2 1-hour breaks. I always sleep during my first break. I don't sleep too well because the job starts at 6, which is earlier than any other job I've worked, and my body does not acclimate to going to bed early. So I get like maybe 4 or 5 hours at most. I work until my first break at around 10 or 11 or sometimes 9 if like there's not much going on. And I always just like go in my car and nap for that hour. I make sure to park where I park in a certain part of the building. There's like a shadow. I have to make sure during the summer that I park. I take one of the spots that's covered in shade, because otherwise my car will be boiling hot with heat exhaustion. I can't sleep in there, and I don't want to sleep in the break room because it's kind of awkward. I sleep with like my head down, and I don't know. It just looks really weird, and I don't want to be like that guy. So I try to make sure I sleep in my car exclusively. It sucked during the winter though. Fucking freezing sometimes. How to run the heat and waste like 10 minutes before I can actually nap for the full hour. 3 lines at work means a very different thing to me. 3 lines where I used to work was very different. You had 2 operators per area. We had like 70 people working in packaging alone. Ooh. Where I work, it's like basically 1 person per tool. There are a few tools that require 2 people for inspection purposes. One of the tools I'm learning is actually framing the wafers, the semiconductor wafers, to ship out to the clients, basically finished product. They get put into a frame, and then you have to inspect the frame, make sure there's no air bubbles or debris underneath the seal. Then a second person has to inspect it too to make sure there's no air bubbles or debris, and then they ship it out. That's actually kind of good because I get to chit chat with that guy. He's like It's weird though, because he's a temp contractor. I'm a full employee there, and he will randomly have to leave for months because according to their contract, they work for a certain amount of months and then they can't go back for a certain amount of months. So he'll be gone. I'm basically sort of training to I'm being trained to run that, and then he'll be gone, and then they'll put someone else in, and then I'll probably be training them if they don't know the area. Oh boy. Where I'm at, it's a line operated by 5 people. I mean, every place has their different quirks and how it's set up. I don't even know. Can't even imagine. But yeah, talking about work though, and man, I wonder where things are gonna go. Man, I could like also talk a lot about how fucking awful my last job was with like the fucking call center shit. But man, that did suck. Yeah, I know a chemical company where when nearby does that, where they can't work any more than 1,300 hours. Is that because of the exposure to chemicals, or is that just a contract they have? I think in New York State, for some reason, there's like a weird law about, like, weird labor law about contractors that when you finish their contract, they can't go back for like 6 months or something. And it'll be interesting to like start applying. I hate interviews. I mean, I don't know anyone who likes interviews, but it's gonna be weird if I do get some interviews to like try to know what I'm talking about. Limited service employment, they call it. Oh, okay. Oh boy. Well, now I'm trying to think. What else did I not get a chance to talk about? If they have a black couch at an interview, it is not what you think it is. No thanks. I've actually had a remote interview. My most recent job, I got through a remote interview, and that seems to be a common thing now. I found that so much more liberating because I had interview prep with my sister and brother-in-law, and we came up with good bullet points for responses to certain questions, as well as things I should say. When I had the remote interview and I had the Zoom call up, I had a sticky notes or like the Word document with all the notes and bullet points of what I should say, like right next to the Zoom call, the video call. So it was so much more liberating instead of trying to memorize that shit during every interview I had prior. Because I was never really good for that, and like, I don't know. There are certain things you could say in an interview that will just kill your chances of getting the job. Like, I don't know. Like you'll say something that you would normally say in normal conversations that is just, well, not even just the swearing, just like you say something like, I'm trying to think of a good example. I did interview prep for my last class, I can't even remember, where you can say things that are accidentally a detriment. Actually, I think one of the dumb questions I had on a practice interview was, if you could be an animal, what animal could you be? Which normally there'll be no wrong answers as long as you play along. And my initial response was, you know, I guess I would like to be a cat because these are creatures that like learn to take advantage of people, and you know, they don't have to like do the song and dance. They get taken care of by people, but by doing little effort. But that gave the impression that I'm gonna do less, so I changed my answer to I would be a domestic dog because, for one, I don't like living in the wild, in the savage wild. I like to be around people, and it's also good utility because if you're a dog, you have to prove your worth. Either you're a farm dog and you're hunting things, or you're herding the sheep, or if you're a family dog and you're entertaining the kids, making the family feel more secure at night when you bark at all people who knock on doors. So I changed my answer to make it seem like a guy who actually does work. See, that's like the small things about it. Like, you'll say things that are fine in normal conversations, but will give the impression that maybe you're not a great employee. You know. Obviously no cursing, but even in the super professional environment, you can say the wrong thing. Don't say anything about Mario Party either. I in all my interviews, I talk about how I'm like a big streamer. I'm technically like, oh, I stream. I'm a big streamer, big time. Like, you may have heard of me, about me. But, you know, that's, Hey, Mimi! How you doing? Thank you. Oof. Boy, we've been talking about a lot right now, but yeah, interviews are annoying. I hate them. But you gotta know to not say something that may make you appear like not a good employee. Like, I think one of the tough interview questions you get, like, if you worked at a place for a very short amount of time and you put on your resume, which ideally you don't want to include that on your resume unless it was like, I don't know, unless there's a reason for it. But one of the questions you could get asked is, you worked at a place for a short amount of time. Why? And, like, if you say something like, oh, I mean, this job was better, so I wanted to leave, it gives the impression that you're not someone who's going to stay. If you say something a little more like, I mean, it's not really good that I'm giving interview advice since I'm not good at it, but I remember, like, during the practice interviews we did, it was something like, yeah, I worked there for a bit, but, you know, it just wasn't where I wanted to be. It wasn't working out. So I want to go to where I think I will have a prosperous career. Because then it looks like, oh, well, it could work out with us. And you could be a loyal employee who works for us for years, you know. Because, you know, employers mostly want employees who are going to stay there. Because bad turnaround is bad for them. Which is why I regret staying at my my cable company job for so long. Which probably made them look good. They had bad turnaround, and they often get in trouble for that. And I stayed for too damn long. I still haven't gotten around to. I want to go on Indeed and just leave a negative review of that place anonymously, of course, but not that it will make that big of a difference. But if I want to contribute to the 1-star, don't work here. This place sucks. I want to do that for them because, you know, they fucked with me, and just it's just this. I just feel pretty sore about it still. Yes. Anyway. Oh boy. Hope this conversation hasn't been too just disjointed. I did think about making bullet points, but I figured maybe more of a chill conversation might be better feeling. Not a podcast, but just chatting. Oh man. Do you get a cap and gown? If I showed up to the graduation, which I really don't want to do, I got it in the mail, and I just don't care for the ceremony. I get all. It's just not for me. So not for me. You should have worn it on this stream. Well, the problem is that I actually live really far away from my college. I'm an online student, so I had to drive there once during admission, which sucked, and then I never went back there. And I'm just not in the mood to drive there for such a long time, few hours, just for a freaking cap and gown and that dumbass ceremony. I got my degree. I got my degree in the mail. This is all I want. Let me remove that comment. This is all I want. You know, this worthless piece of paper. It's a thick piece of paper. You can barely see it because, again, it's being deleted. My name is covered up by sticky note, just so you know. But yeah. You know what is funny though? That this frame was actually for one of my certifications for my old job at the cable company, because they made us take online learning modules. And if you do enough of them, you get like a small pay increase. That's just built into the system. They give us a certificate in this. I took out that stupid fucking certificate at the training module, and I put in this. I could probably get a better frame, but you know, this is fine. This is a fine frame. You know, glass. I think full glass. Has like hooks. No thing here to prop it up like to sit on a desk, but hey, it doesn't really need it. Normally you put this on a wall. I should probably put it on that wall up there. There's nothing on that wall. Or I can just leave it in a drawer and just forget about it. Just never think about it again. Just bust out the cap and gown. I still have my high school cap and gown. Fuck. They're probably like have like moths like ate through that shit. I haven't taken that out in years. It's been sitting in my drawer for so long. Probably fell apart due to moths, no doubt. Oh man. You know, I thought about like playing a random thing, or if I just wanted to. I was leaning more towards probably just doing the conversation today. Like if I could play like a casual game I don't normally play, but I don't know. I've been talking for like 2.5 hours. Okay, that's actually pretty good. I managed to get a good amount. I was worried I would like run out of things to say after an hour, but we had some good conversations. Man. And also, I should mention that my high school cap and gown is made out of the cheapest shit. It was like the most uncomfortable, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, have you ever wore like clothes for, I don't know, like an overshirt for like a project, and it's like the most scratchy, itchy material, but it's like really cheap? That was the high school cap and gown. It was like this really uncomfortable crap. Also, if I show the cap and gown, you'll see my high school colors, which could help you narrow down where I live and where I went to school. Don't want that now, do I? Of course, like if you do stream and the bigger you get, it's sort of an inevitability you get doxxed. But you know, I wanna prevent that. You know, no one knows my name. If you know my name, you will literally have everything on me because I'm the only one in the country with my first and last name combination, which kind of sucks. But hey, I have certain things right here for personal protection, which is just a blur. These are just smudges. They are nothing to you or to Twitch. Oh boy. Oh man, GK is in the state of New York. Yeah, I figured just talking about New York is fine. Maybe I should have been vague about that too, but I think kind of knowing at least the New York is big enough. You know, I don't live in the city. And that's, you know, fine. Oh boy. I should have this video game lounge music playing more often. I rather chill music as opposed to my playlist, which is a little more actiony. But although it wreaks havoc on my processor though if I play another game. Because I should turn off hardware acceleration for Chrome. That would probably help. Also, this podcast thing I'm doing is over a browser, so that adds to the... It adds to the freaking resource hogness of it. Yo, eat your booty. How you doing? Sort of catching me after quite a while. I've been talking a lot. If you have any general questions for me, even if I answered it, be sure to I'll answer it again. Another 10 days until free for all Fall Guys. Oh yeah. The annoying thing though is that it goes free to play on. It's on one of my days off. However, it's on a day off before I work for 2 days. However, I am off that weekend, so I can have a big Fall Guys weekend. That will be good. Like Saturday, Sunday, play more Fall Guys. I'm doing good, celebrating that I got my bachelor's. Definitely feels good. Oh man. Yeah, my bullshit. Yes, I got my bullshit. Exactly, Colorama. Oh boy. I often find like, I mean, maybe it's my juvenile mind, but it's the BS, the bullshit, and I think I forget where, but you can also get an STD. So some kind of education credential, which is abbreviated as STD, which is it's a BS degree and it's a bullshit degree in bullshit. Yeah. Thought about getting the new Mario Strikers game, but then realized Daisy isn't one of the game, which pisses me off. They might add DLC down the line with like more characters, like they will eventually do for Superstars. They goddamn well better. Yeah. I wasn't really too into Strikers. What I am looking forward to though is Cult of the Lamb, which has a release date. That is coming out. I think in August, if I don't remember the trailer, it was like August 11th perhaps. But Cult of the Lamb looks cool. Sort of reminds me of Binding of Isaac. I am looking forward to that. I have to wait to see how it plays, see if I'm into it. They did do free DLC for tennis and golf. Yes, and where's the DLC for Smash Ultimate? I mean, not Smash Ultimate. Superstars. Like, how are they gonna have the fake Space Princess Rosalina, but not the person that is known to be in Strikers? Was Daisy in one of the earlier Strikers games? I don't know. If she was, that'd be weird. You'd think they would want to do the whole everyone is here motif like from Smash and bring in all the old personalities. Is Waluigi? Wait, Waluigi's in Strikers, I think, right? Which is weird because he usually gets left out of things. Reason why I don't like Rosalina. She is in both GameCube and Wii games. So Waluigi is in Strikers. I remember does he still do the crotch chop? Or did they take that out of the new Strikers? Because that was funny in the old Strikers, the crotch chop. Oh man, I don't know what they were. Who developed Strikers? It definitely wasn't Nintendo themselves. They just published. Waluigi is the sports inclusion. I remember he was the best pitcher in one of the baseball games. All the OG characters are in Strikers, but Daisy. Next Level Game. Oh, okay. Next Level Games made it. Okay. I'm surprised Nintendo was cool with the crotch chop. Although Waluigi, he's a sports inclusion because he was created by Hudson for Mario Tennis to make a rival to Luigi. I think most people know this by this point, which is why Nintendo probably doesn't like putting him in things because he wasn't one of their creations. I rather like Waluigi's design and like what he is. It's kind of funny. You take like the exaggerated proportions of Mario and Luigi. Mario being kind of the short and like fatter, and Luigi being a bit taller and thinner. And Wario and Waluigi are exaggerations thereof. You know, obviously, Wario's super thick and Waluigi super lanky. Also a reference to like old school cartoons and characters from like TV where you would have like a very fat stocky guy and a very thin guy as like bumbling villains. And that sort of harkens back to that. Oh boy. And I have to think about like what other games I might want to stream. Again, I don't know how interested anyone would be in if I either do Rockstar's Bully, Hitman 3, or Stalker. These are very different kind of games than what I normally do. But I could play them off stream. I don't know if there's any kind of interest on stream for any of them. Waluigi has the dastardly snidey whiplash mustache. Yeah, kind of. Which, that's such a badass name, Dig Dastardly. From the old, I don't know if he was in more, but he was in that Wacky Racing old cartoon. And he was also in the Hanna-Barbera mainstream universe as like the main villain. Although he doesn't have his hat in that. I don't like to do Bowser, do the I'd like to do the F Bowser map with you Wednesday. Well, it depends on who we got in the game, as per usual. Apple pie, pumpkin pie, or cherry pie? Ooh. I'm torn between apple and pumpkin. Cherry is just sort of there. I don't go for it. I won't not eat it. I just don't prefer that one. Pumpkin and apple are very different kinds of pies too, so I would probably lean towards pumpkin pie just because it's a bit easier to eat. And apple pies, it's harder, I think, to make a bad pumpkin pie than a bad apple pie, because I had apple pies that had either like too thick bread or too much apple, like a bad ratio. So I think pumpkin pie is just generally better. Easier to eat as well. Like the apple pie, you can't really eat it by hand. You have to, I have to have a fork with it. Pumpkin pie, if it's made right, you can sort of hold it and it'll keep it together. I'm biased. I always favor multiplayer games. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a different experience. It's me playing a single player game and then you just sort of commenting on it. Well, I don't know. I'll probably post on Discord and then have like a little poll to see if anyone's interested or if I should just do normal shit. Pumpkin pie. Apple is only good warm. Yeah, actually, I don't have warm apple pie that often. I tend to have it like when it's been in the fridge. I don't mind it. It's been a while since I had it. I don't remember what it feels like. Don't be yawning. Oh yeah, that is one of my problems. I do that a lot. I do want to play Stalker because Stalker 2 is coming out, but then again, I don't even know if anyone cares about Stalker 2 if I stream that or if I should just play that off stream. Not to mention I have to upgrade my PC because it looks kind of resource intensive. Hold on. Have you considered my request to play my new map between you, Lee, and Lee, Ferris, and Typh? God damn it, I'm trying to remember. Which map was that again, Mimi? Also, I know you were working on that one project you were telling me about, which I hope you don't get dissuaded from continuing because it's going to crowd control. But I would still be down to make use of it. Add apple and pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving. Yeah, those are good staples. Oh, man. Don't think he showed it yet. Okay. Well, we'll play by ear. But I would like to, assuming we can get those people lined up. And have our schedule sync up. Oh god, there I go again. Shoot. Oh boy. Oh wait, what the hell? Actually, when the hell is Breath of the Wild 2 coming out? I'm definitely gonna be playing that one on stream. I wonder how long it will be. It'll also be interesting to see how different it's gonna be. Let me look that up actually. I don't even remember. Breath of the Wild 2. Release date 2023. Well, fuck. All right. Well, that's too wide. The map is unreleased, and yes, I'm not dissuaded. I've just hit a wall. Oh, okay. Cool. Going to the Craig's meetup. No, I would like to, but you know, going to Vegas, it's been cumbersome, especially with like my job, which I haven't been working at very long, and also looking for a new job and trying to save up money and all that. You know, if for whatever reason Craig was doing a meetup in New York, which I don't know why he would, but if he did, I could actually like, at least with a reasonably priced, order like an Uber to go there instead of a plane ticket. I was never a fan of traveling like that. Oh man. Even if you won the $500 plane ticket, would $500 cover it? It's not even so much that as it's taking time out from work, and then I don't know if like my family would want me to like take off for other holidays and all. It's like one of those things where my family would want me to go to on holiday with them, and you know, I never know if they are like they don't tell me in advance very well. So I've always tried to hold on to my time off. Although to be fair, it would be easier with my job if I like with the days off before and after. That's one of the downsides of working 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, is that you would often need more time off. Like more days off, I should say. My job, I can sometimes get away with, like, if I'm off for the weekend and we do something, and then I don't have to take any of my time off. But it's just, you know, kind of a hard thing. And I never really liked taking time off of work like that. Never one for vacations. Another reason why I got so pissed off when my last job kept fucking with me, when I was like one of the people who would like almost never go on vacation, like almost never call out sick. I would always show up and I would always be on time. I would never no show, and it didn't matter. Just didn't fucking matter. Those tough times, I guess. I would like to see the highlight video from the Vegas trip. It would be nice to meet you guys and Craig, but damn. Oh, crap. I'm starting to crash here. I won't wear the suit this year. What do you mean by the suit? Hey Dan, you back? You got the Tails Chow? Hey Dan, when are you getting to stream a Chow Garden run? The Mario suit I wore last year. Oh damn, I forgot about that. And I'm excited for the at least the Fall Guys free to play. Oh boy. I'm kind of bummed that Craig hasn't streamed as regular, because I was trying to get in on his Mario Party streams and it just, you know, hasn't been happening. But you know, it is what it is. Busy with everything else and his projects. Now, I might be loading up Fall Guys tonight off stream to see if the beta is active, because I want to see if I can try some of the new games, new mini games. Gotta rewatch the VOD for this. Gotta learn the GK lore. Well, hopefully it won't be too disjointed. You know, a little go lose my train of thoughts from time to time and talking about all the old shit. Starting to get tired. I don't know how much more I have in me. If anyone else has any more questions for me, I'm glad I was able to go as long as I did. I was worried like after 1 hour I would run out of things to say. But managed to talk a lot about shit going on. I still want to try to like keep doing the podcast, but my IRL friend who was supposed to be co-hosting with, it's kind of hard for him now with his schedule, so I don't know how reliable I can make that. Be on the lookout on my Discord for tomorrow for if we do the interview with Char. I listen to VODs when I do other stuff on my computer. Oh yeah, Sort of like when I drive, I download audio of something, so I don't burn my cell data. I can listen to shit. Do you have any general questions for me? I know you weren't here for most of it, Dan. Should stream your interviews. Pull the Uno reverse. Well, I mean, did I mention this? I don't know if you were around when I mentioned this before, Colorama, the interview with Char. Are you talking about streaming my job interviews? Because that'd be weird. That might violate some kind of terms with whatever prospective employers I have. I think I'm crashing from the soda. I don't know why I get like so tired randomly like this. I sometimes get like this at work. I really like the naps. I don't know. I guess before I start considering like rating someone or doing something else, anyone have any last second thoughts or questions for me? So I'm probably getting pretty close to, you know, rating someone else. Last second question. Bidet or TP? I heard good things about bidets. I just don't know how complicated it would be to set one of those up. I hear it's like more environmentally friendly too. Using water instead of so much toilet paper. You actually use more water making each roll of toilet paper as opposed to the water used in a bidet system. Might wake you up if the water's cold. I guess that could be a good way. I think don't a lot of bidets have like some kind of warming system, just to make it not so shocking on you when you get blasted with it. Maybe I should just drink more coffee. That's gotta be the solution, right? Just drink more caffeine. Maybe more soda and coffee. Well, yeah, I think this has been a pretty good stream. All things considered. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see, who's to raid? Who's worth raiding? Let me look and see. Is there any legend live streaming? Byron is streaming. Yes. He's playing Ape Escape. Alright then. Well, before I go and raid him again, any last second questions or anything like that? Oh, and Dan, in your opinion, between like Hitman 3, Stalker 2, or Rockstar's Bully, I don't know if you have any interest in any of those games. If I stream them, like what would you think would be like the most watchable? I don't know. I'll post on Discord the question as well, but yeah, I just don't know. So many games I need to play, so little time. Multiple games with one input device. Oh, that would, I think it was Mitten Squad. He played Fallout 3 and New Vegas at the exact same time with the same input. That was an interesting experience. He lined it up where he beat both of the games at the same time. That must have been challenging. Also must have sucked setting all that up. It's actually surprisingly difficult to get, like, the same input off of one device. T or X14 task is pretty interesting. I don't even know what that is. The hell is that? Oh man. Well, yeah, tool assisted speedrun I know, but what the hell is X14? I don't know what the hell X14 is. Oh, I got some biddies from AJ. Appreciate the biddies. Sorry I don't have the sound effect on. I had to turn it off for this this podcast layout. Appreciate the biddies though. Mega Man 1X through 4. Oh, really? Okay, so it's Mega Man 1X through 4 all at the same time. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. I mean, with tasks, you can do any, like, all amazing sort of shit. All right. Well, that was good. I will again probably ask later when I have time to post, as well as if I think about what other games I want to play on stream. I really want to play Stalker. I don't know. Oh, it was Resident Evil 4. Actually, Resident Evil 4, I forgot. That's another major one. I just remembered. That actually could be a good one to do, because Resident Evil 4 remake was announced. And I think people just generally like Resident Evil 4. By the way, I was editing a video and was looking for a Final Smash like cut for Luigi, and I came across the Persona Yoshi cut and that you use for the subs. Oh yeah, someone made a Persona for all the Smash characters. That's where I got it. Alex Hero told me about it, actually. I'm jumping in there live VC. I want to congratulate you. Oh, cool. If do you still have the link, Rez? I was about to leave, but if you want to jump in for a sec, do you still have the link to join the StreamYard? It's in our group chat. I'm not actually in on Discord right now. Let me see if I can DM it to you. Actually, wait a sec. Oh, there it is. Okay, I still have the thing active. But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not in Discord, and my audio setup might cause echoes. I do appreciate it, Rez, but okay, there you are. Hey, Rez.
Yo, what's up, man? Congratulations, you graduated today?
Yeah. Well, it was a few weeks ago. I got my degree. I got my fucking degree.
Nice.
Which is, you can't really see too well. It's being deleted, but I covered my name in the sticky note. But Bachelor of Science. Yes, I legally changed my name, but I don't want people to know that. It says GK got killed under there. The college admission staff are really concerned.
Like, who got killed? Wait, what? That's awesome.
Yeah, jeez. I was talking before a lot about this. Like, I have to, like, learn how to, like, do interviews with actual credentials and be prepared for when they ask me specific shit that I probably won't know the answer to, and how best I can BS my way past it.
Hey, tell me, where do you... This is my favorite one. I hate this one. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I hate that one.
In 5 years? Interviewing you for the job you lost to me.
Oh, man. But good stuff, dude. Good stuff. Yeah, I feel that, because I'm currently studying right now. I'm on the grind.
Oh, I can't. You went mute. You went mute. I can't hear you.
I said I feel you because I'm on the grind right now, studying and looking for a job as well. So.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about this off stream, and you're like doing like a sort of career shift or like a degree shift from what you were doing from the veterinarian stuff.
Medicine to software engineering. So big jump. Big jump.
Why don't you combine the two? Software engineer for veterinarian equipment.
Nah.
Or do you just want to separate from the medical stuff?
Yeah, I'm done with medicine. I'm done. But
you're done with medicine? Like, what if you get sick? You can just refuse to take it?
I can take care of myself. Go into my little inventory and shoot myself up with some stuff. In
Minecraft.
In Minecraft, you know, I'll take a healing pot in Minecraft, my storage. But yeah, man, what's the future look like now? Anything lined up?
I don't know. I saw a couple of positions. My sister, I have to spruce up my resume and my cover letter, and my sister was gonna like help me. She pulled a few job listings for me to start like applying to. She told me like basically make it a thing to apply to like one every day or like one every few days. The ones she gave me I think are a bit higher end, but I mean I guess what's the worst they can do? Like just not like just tell me no, you know?
Yeah.
Gotta at least try. And some of the salaries and stuff are attractive, but I'll have to see. My prospects are looking better. And, you know, I do appreciate everything my current job was doing for me to help me finish my degree, but, you know, the pay is just not there, you know?
Right.
It is what it is.
You got this. I mean, I think, like, biggest benefit is, like, you'll be able to start working remotely now, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of remote opportunities.
Computer science, you can work anywhere, everywhere. At any time. So have you updated your LinkedIn?
Yeah, I did. I added that my degree is done on my LinkedIn, which I don't really use LinkedIn that much, but I did at least update that to see if like I often get spammed like all these like, well, we're looking for people at this sales associate position. It's like, fuck, I don't, because I had like Radio Shack or some shit on my profile. I was like, no. Okay.
Yeah, you have to change the preferences or whatever, because I just now changed mine to software engineer, from medicine to software engineer, because I still to this day get like pings about that. But what are you gonna do? By the way, I just saw in other news, Jurassic World, and it was very meh.
I looked at it. I liked the effects, but it just looked like I didn't think there was anything interesting in the movie. I just didn't think it would be that good. Like a mindless popcorn action film. It's like a mindless popcorn action film, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of cameos. It was really gratuitous, and like it was like, oh hey, look at these old cast from Jurassic Park. They're old now, and here's the new cast in Jurassic World. Let them work together. There's this new doctor who turns evil, or you know, not necessarily evil, but morally incorrect. But
do they explain how they don't just kill the dinosaurs by shooting them? Like,
yeah, it's like, they're like, oh, who are we to decide that the dinosaur should be killed?
What the fuck?
There's like,
what do you mean? That's stupid. If they're like being a danger or hazard, put them down. They're unnatural. They weren't meant to exist in the first place.
There's like a PETA movement and blah blah blah. And,
fuck them.
And there's like a whole underground of people selling like dinosaur meat and dinosaur babies and blah blah.
Oh, that'd be cool, dude. That'd be dope.
So yeah. Of course you'd eat the meat fucking burnt.
Well done. Yeah, of course.
Burnt.
Well done.
Burnt. No, burnt. Chat, this guy eats his meat burnt.
Yeah, we cook our food. We're in a civilized society. We don't eat raw meat still bleeding. We're a civilized society. We cook it.
It should have some redness. It should. If it's not slightly red, then it's not ready for dead.
Then it's undercooked. It's not ready to eat.
No.
We evolved to cook shit.
Yes, but your palate is just not there. It's not there, GK. It's not.
Mm-mm-mm.
But anyway, congratulations again.
Thank you.
For you, man. I'm thinking about going back to school. I really am. But we'll see.
I don't like fully cooked beef. Not enough flavor? What do you mean? It adds flavor. Cooking it more adds more flavor.
No, medium to medium rare is the way to go. That is the way. That look at me in the eyes. Medium rare. Do not be like this guy and eat a hockey puck when it comes to burgers. When we go out to the diner, to a bar, whatever, this guy orders well done. It's gross. I'm embarrassed.
What do you mean? It has more flavor. It has more taste.
No.
Yes, absolutely.
See, even your chat disagrees, man. Even your chat disagrees.
The chat's wrong.
It loses the juices. The juices is what matters.
But it gains the flavor
of charcoal.
And it tastes better. It's not just about the juices. And besides, if it's cooked and then dried out, and then that's not cooked well. A well done steak has to be cooked good too, on top of everything.
A well done steak is dried. It's all the moisture is gone. It's
not all the no.
It's just
that's a poorly cooked one, which you can have a well done thing that is like raw in the center and like hazardous to eat. Like you want blood leaking out of your meat? Like what are we, cavemen?
I want a nice sear on the outside, and I want the inside to be juicy. I want the inside to be having flavor. I want there to be a red tinge, a little bit of red, a little bit of pink, just a little bit.
But why cook it at all? Like why not just eat it raw? It's like this. Like, what's the point of cooking it only a little bit?
Because that char gives it that smoky flavor, that little bit of crunch, that little bit of bite that it needs.
Why not just why not order the animal alive so you can eat straight from it?
No. You trying to get PETA to come after me? Listen, man. Not blood, exactly. It's not blood. See, this guy knows what's up. Copeland, he knows what's up. Shout out to you, Copeland. Don't do drugs, kids. But oh yeah, there you go, Coke right there. But yeah, no. Listen, you're wrong. It's okay. You just have the palate of a teenager. It's okay. Okay. Even though you're a boomer, it's all good.
Whatever. I don't know. But before I think about trying to like raid someone, do you have any? I don't know how long you were looking for, Rez. If you have any other, I mean, I do appreciate the congratulations, but I also talking about my history in streaming. If you have any general questions about that, or I mean, we talked candidly a lot about like the past I've been through.
What makes you stream today?
I mean,
let's talk about today.
The enjoyment out of it. I fostered a pretty good community, and we get to hang out and play games we all have a mutual interest in.
It's all about, streaming has taken a backseat for me, if I'm being honest. I've been focusing on my YouTube lately, if you may have seen.
Yeah, you were doing first reactions to a lot of animes.
Yeah, my posts, and I've been doing it pretty consistently now for almost 3 months, where I've been doing weekday daily content. So 5 days a week, I'm doing daily content, and I'm fostering slowly but surely a community on YouTube, and I gotta
get back to that.
I found it to be satisfying. I would like in an ideal world to balance YouTube and Twitch, but it's kind of hard. I found.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that too. When working on like YouTube shit, it takes away from the stream. It's like I have my personal time. I have to choose between that or making and editing videos.
Yeah, because YouTube, there's so much that goes into it that, you know, with Twitch it's more freeform. With YouTube, you have to edit. You have to sometimes script things, etc. Get pictures, videos together, audio. So yeah, but I don't regret it. I'm enjoying it. But I still stream sometimes. It's been a while, but I still stream sometimes. Gotta get
Cool.
that Apex
I look
going.
forward to it. You still do Apex?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Top in the world, baby.
Really?
Oh yeah. Last season I was Masters rank, which is like top 0.1%. Oh, pretty high rank. Pretty high rank. I was gonna say, I don't know if you saw. Did you see the Summer Games Expo?
No. What about?
Okay, well, Fall Guys is getting like a new expansion.
Oh yeah, free to play.
Yeah. So I haven't played Fall Guys in a while, but I'd be down to play. Because I'm assuming there's new content by now.
Yeah.
Played it.
Yeah, there definitely is. And with the free-to-play update, what I hope to do, although it might be kind of difficult, is to have or advertise open custom lobbies for viewers. But, you know, I would need like 40 people to make for good games. But it would always be an option. And especially with free-to-play, if more people are able to. With crossplay, too.
What they need to do is go what I call the Little Big Planet route. And just like leave the tools in the hands of the people. And let us create stages.
They have that. Don't you know that?
Really?
They are planning this. They told us it won't be ready for the next update, but they gave us a teaser of a mini game round maker for people to make their own rounds. No one knows like if it's gonna be if it'll be randomly cycled into like people's games or if it's only for custom lobbies or what the capabilities are. They only teased it a little bit. With like some rounds that looked ridiculously difficult, which will be cool to make like super hard kind of rounds, but that will give an incentive for people to do custom lobbies at least. It's like, hey, you can bring your custom levels in, I'll put them in our rotation and all that. That'd be kind of cool.
Right. Yeah, I think that will really elevate the game and that'll make the game.
Yeah, all they would have to do is do the Mario Maker thing where if you make a level there, then they force you to start at the beginning and beat the level. The level just has to be beatable, really. So
yeah,
it'll be cool, and with feedback as well. Like if someone decides to do a thing where they make the level very difficult, but they hit a side path that's easy for them to go through, then people should be able to like leave a review saying, oh, he hit a secret path, no good, or whatever.
Right. Yeah. That will make me highly incentivized to play that game again and also stream it again, because Fall Guys is such a nice streamable game where it's easy to balance talking, entertaining, and playing at the same time. Actions thrown in there.
Plus,
really nice.
with free to play, we're getting a wave of shitty bad players to get easy wins off of.
Ooh, get some crowns.
Yeah. I'm like approaching 400.
At crossplay. Yeah. I'd be down for that. So once that comes out, I'll definitely link up with you because I would like to play some of that and stream that.
Yeah. Dope.
Meantime, I'm gonna go play some Apex.
Alright, good talking to you.
Yeah, man. Again, congrats on your degree. And
thank you.
Yeah. See you, chat. Peace out.
That was Rez, everyone. Let me shout him out for all those who want to check his content out. Anyway, appreciate that. Okay, I think